We're back. The four horsemen of A2D, the sports lord, Chucks, PY, Jake to the frill. He is a heel. I'm not gonna rhyme anymore, but it was a bye week. It was a fucking bye week for us as well. So we're back. Steelers football, Eagles Sunday, but Phillies, Flyers, hot, Sixers. Man, it's taking a little toe in the water. But
have a basketball team.
A2D forever, birds of a feather. We about to rock it out. Let's go.
Let's go. This ain't the Fox Tyson force this game, he stinks.
Oh shit!
It's gone.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, it's Birds of a Feather on A2D Radio, brought to you by Manscaped. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code A2D at manscaped.com. It's time to throw out your old hygiene habits and upgrade your life. We are live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and everywhere you download your podcast. So if you're listening to us live right now or on your commute, or in the shower using those Manscaped products, we greatly appreciate your support. It's your boy, like we said at the top of the show, Chucks over here. We are back. We are back after our own bye week. We felt like we needed an impromptu bye week, so we got one, but we are back now, better than ever, as always. And to my left, no other introduction needed, the OG Pete. What's good?
Man, cool, man. Happy to be back, man. So, I don't know why I'm getting an echo there, but I am from somewhere. Some reverberation. Happy to be back. Talk some pigskin, Philly sports. Great sabotage. This is sabotage. Sabotage. But no, I mean, what's left to be said? It's a great time to be a Philly sports area fan. And big game tomorrow, but also a big game on Sunday. We got to keep this train rolling, man.
Absolutely. To my bottom right here, the other Pete, Mr. Young. How you doing, brother? How are you?
Hanging in there, getting better.
Getting better? Are you still sick? Because I'm still sick. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm getting healthier. Now it's just my fucking wisdom teeth that are fucking me up.
Dude, right here with you, brother.
It's always something.
Right here with you.
Oh my god!
It's always something.
Like I literally feel like the back of my jaw, like fucking tight as shit. And they're like, "Oh, how you doing at work?" I'm like,
My top right wisdom tooth cracked, so it's like it's charring off a little by little.
Just get them to take that bad boy out.
Just get them taken out.
That's gotta be painful.
That's
all right, and then to my down and to the left
diagonal
is Mr. Jake. For real, what's up?
Good. I mean, Sixers stink. Flyers are better than we thought, which is good. Eagles are still undefeated, and the Phillies are in the World Series. So I can't complain. I can't complain. Well, to make it a little better, I would like another running back, the Alvin Kamara or Kareem Hunt, and just throwing that out there. But I'm good. Let's go.
Well, we've got, as usual, an action-packed show. We're going to talk about the trade deadline. We're going to talk about the trade that Howie did pull off to start things off it was yesterday. We got Mr. Robert Quinn from the Chicago Bears. We're gonna react to that, give our thoughts on that big trade for the Eagles, as it gives us another pass rusher to add on the defensive side. We're also going to talk about other trade deadline rumors and wish lists for players that we want. I know people have been screaming for a running back. I'm still screaming for a safety. So we'll tackle that topic. We'll also preview in the second quarter the Eagles Steelers game that's coming up this Sunday at the Link in Philadelphia. We'll talk about the biggest matchups, key matchups, and our predictions. Third quarter, as always, we will talk anything regarding the NFL league as a whole, anything that we want to talk about this past week or coming up, or anything in between. And then, as always, fourth quarter, we go no huddle. We go and talk about anything that we want to talk about, pretty much. So, yeah. But before we do, let's get to our poll question for tonight, which is brought to you by All Campus. They're giving 20% off everything in their store, including hat shirts, to all their subscribers. And the poll question is, Robert Quinn is currently the best pass rusher on the Eagles roster. Agree or disagree? Pete Evans, let's start with you. Do you think the newly acquired Robert Quinn, the veteran, 32 years old, the guy who racked up 18.5 sacks last year, do you think he is currently the best pass rusher on the roster?
I have to agree to the poll because he's the most balanced pass rusher defensive end that we have on the roster. I think Reddick has a – it's weird because I definitely agree to the poll, but I feel like we have the parallels. I feel like we have a young – I think we have a young Robert Quinn on our team right now in Hassan Reddick, but he's just not there yet. But that's who he could ultimately be. I mean, this dude, 367 games. Then he has 101 total sacks. So many solo tackles, tackles for loss. I mean, if he can get maybe 50, 60 more sacks, he could be a fringe ballot Hall of Famer, man. To be honest with you. And then he came from that 2011 draft. That draft, you go back on, you look at it, it was loaded. A lot of teams had a lot of talent. I don't know what the fuck we were doing at 23 because that was the good old. All right, trivia question: who do we take in that draft?
What draft? 2011.
Don't without looking.
Wait. You're talking about 2011?
2011, the draft that Robert Quinn was in.
Didn't we trade out?
No, we didn't trade out. We had a pick. It was in the late first round.
23. I don't remember.
I don't.
Is he still on the roster?
Was it Fireman?
No. Okay.
It was Fireman, Danny
Oh,
Watkins.
Danny Watkins.
Oh, right. Yeah. Right.
That's what I was because I was thinking because I'm like,
Ugh.
who the fuck did it be?
2018. Yeah, that's far.
Yeah.
That was far. Okay. Jake.
Yeah, I have to agree with the poll. I mean, he's coming off 18.5 sacks last year, so you have to take that into account. And I understand the people are all worried, like, oh, he's old. He only has one sack this year. Well, to put into context, he was doubled 58% of the time because he was the Bears' best pass rusher this year. He got double more than Micah Parsons, and I forget who the other person was.
He got double more than TJ Watt.
Yeah, he got double more than arguably anyone in the league. So,
and that's to echo your point, Jake. Sorry, that's really because of there's nobody else there.
Right.
All him.
Yep. But I mean, if he's playing on Sunday, I expect him to have a big game, and I think just having all the guys around him, your Derek Barnett, or not Derek Barnett, sorry, your Fletcher Coxes, your Javon Hargraves, your Jordan Davises, Brandon Grahams. I mean, just having all these guys around you is just going to help so much more. And I don't know, theoretically, if you have Fletcher Cox in the middle, Jordan Davis on the right next to him, and then you have Brandon Graham or Josh Sweat, and then you have Roquan Smith. I don't know how you're going to block anyone, to be quite honest with you. Right. But, I mean,
we don't have Roquan Smith.
Or not Roquan Smith, I'm sorry. It's him. I mean, he wants to come here. I'm all for it. That's why he was crying for any.
It would have been a beauty if we'd have got both of them.
I mean, that's the reason why he was crying.
We were
he wants
supposedly in on Eddie Jackson.
I would love Eddie Jackson, but get back to the poll question. I agree. I kind of piggyback off where Pete left off. I think Hassan Reddick is close to that Hassan Reddick ilk, I guess you could say, but he's not there yet. He's still very young. but I'm expecting a big second half of the year from Raquan Smith. I'm going to agree. I did it again. For Robert Quinn.
Robert Quinn.
Robert Quinn. I agree to the poll. Oh, by the way, real quick, I just thought this was funny. Did you see the Eagles video of him getting out of the car?
No.
Him coming into the building?
No.
He looks like just like a regular dude. That
He
you would
looks
see in the
older
city.
than
I saw the
32 years
loafers,
old. I
yeah.
will tell you that.
He had the loafers on. He had the sweatpants. He had like the
Nice.
not a leather jacket, but like a I forget what kind of material it was. But it's just like he looked like a generic dude. I'm like, okay. I'm like, oh, who's this random guy? And I'm like, oh, never mind. It's Robert Quinn.
It's our new pass rusher. That's right. All right, Mr. Young.
I'm going to disagree with the poll. I still think it's Hassan Reddick. What he's been putting together over the last 3 years has been insane. And obviously, like Quinn had 18.5 sacks last year. That's fucking amazing. But he only has one this year. Like that's a little worrisome. But like obviously he's that talented enough of a pass rusher where working with all the guys that we have here is going to probably help him. But like, I just think for what Hassan Reddick's been doing and what he can continue to be doing, I think Hassan is probably the better pass rusher on this roster right now, just because I have a complete body of work this year of Hassan Reddick. I don't really have that with Robert Quinn, but also, I also know Hakeem Hicks is not there anymore. And I also know Khalil Mack is not there anymore. So
Yeah, very, very, very valid points.
Mm-hmm.
Very astute of you. I would also say this to echo what Pete said is also the change. You had a GM change, you had a head coach change. So and they're not playing the same defensive scheme as they were playing last year. So that he like he said today in his press conference, he knew the writing was on the wall. I think it was either he was getting traded or they're going to release him.
Yep.
It was one or the other, but he was not in their future plans.
Well, remember when he had the 18.5 season, it was the Fangio system.
Yep.
And what do you know? We run that system here.
Exactly. For me, I'm not gonna answer the poll question because I don't know. Like I really don't know.
What?
I've been thinking about it since yesterday. I'm like, is he?
You have to answer the question.
You have to answer the
So
question.
he's the most seasoned, but is he currently the best one right now moving forward? I don't know. Like, I feel like you could
But
make
you disagree.
You can make a case for Hassan Reddick. You can make a case for Josh Sweat. I feel like they're all pretty much the same type of pass rush, like not type, the same level of pass rusher currently. But I don't know that for sure. So I don't know how to answer the poll question. I'm being straight honest. I don't know. I don't know if I agree or disagree. So I'm at a stalemate. I'm not going to answer the poll question. I don't know.
I'm disappointed because if any one of us did this, you would not let this slide.
Oh no, not at all.
That's
and I decided on the poll questions, even though it wasn't my idea. Like we all got it from Nate because Nate posed it, and I was like, "Oh, okay, actually, that's a good poll question." It's a good poll question because I'm stumped. I don't know. Like I really don't know. He is like people might say I'm stupid because of course, like yeah, he is. He had 18.5 sacks last year, so I get that. Like and honestly, if you look at that, yeah, like you'd have to answer Robert Quinn, but at the same time, like. Is he with him being a little older? Is he way past his prime? Like where is he on that trajectory? And like is Hassan Reddick now entering his prime? So I don't know. And same thing with Josh Sweat. Like Josh Sweat may not get all the glory, but I mean like I think Josh Sweat also is a more complete pass rusher than Hassan Reddick, where Reddick is more of like a speed rusher. You get what I'm saying? So I've been going back and forth, and I don't know how to answer it. I'm being honest. I don't know.
So it's almost like you're asking yourself if you had one play, all of them, and you put them in the drill, who can get to the quarterback 100% healthy between Hassan Reddick, Robert Quinn, and then Josh Sweat? Who would you take in that situation? You know what I mean? So do you take Reddick? Do you? And this is the other thing. It depends on Never, no matter who's the offensive lineman on the other side. It could be someone that's a speed lineman. It could play speed technique. It could be someone that's power technique. Who are you taking as far as the most? And that's where this, I don't want to split you. This is why I would say Robert Quinn is the most well versed.
Yeah, if you put it that way, then I'd say Robert Quinn.
Okay.
If you just put it like at face value in a vacuum, like overall, if I had to bank on someone who I know has done it and can win against any type, then yeah, Robert Quinn I'd have to go to. But if you were to tell me, okay, this is your matchup, you're dealing with a guy who can't handle speed, I might say Reddick. Or
right.
You're dealing with a guy who's heavy footed, I might say, okay, Josh Sweat.
Yeah.
So I don't like, that's why I don't know. But I mean, if you're just looking overall, yeah, Robert Quinn, because he's done it. We know he's done it. He's done it as recently as last year. So in that context, I'll go Robert Quinn. So I guess I'll agree to the poll question.
There it is.
But yeah, it's tough for me to answer because I really don't know for sure.
He got what he wanted, so he's happy.
Yeah.
It's just he needed a nudge,
needed a little push.
Yeah, I needed you guys to help talk me through it because I honestly I didn't know. As of yesterday, I was like, yeah, he's the best one. And then this morning, I was like,
yeah, hindsight,
maybe not. And then this afternoon, I was like, yeah, I think he is. And then before the show, I'm like, well, maybe not.
But it just overall from a big picture view, what it does for this defensive line, man, you can't. There's one-on-ones all across the board.
Yeah.
And then when you think how Jordan Davis is, we've seen him starting to ramp it up and be more impactful during the games. But Fletcher Cox now, it's helping him. You got Hargrave, it's helping him. And then I think I was listening to the dial, and they was talking how Lane Johnson said, we're always a step behind the defensive line because it's 5 of us, and that's it. We don't rotate. We play every snap. And your defensive lines, they rotate in and out. So they're always a little bit more fresher than us as offensive linemen as a whole when you just look at the two positions. And now it's just, I think they said Patrick Johnson and Teron Jackson were getting 17 snaps a game. So there were snaps to go around. Obviously, from the Eagles side of things, they didn't see enough. And this not only, unfortunately, takes snaps away from those guys, but it's also something that you really needed outside of now because now you have 4. You really truly have 4. You have BG, Josh Sweat, Hassan Reddick, and now Robert Quinn. It's a win-win. I don't know whose 4th-round pick they gave up. I know
Rager's pick.
Whose pick?
The Rager pick that we got from the Vikings.
So they didn't even give up their own shit. So
they gave up Rager for Quinn.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty much.
Howie Roseman, man. I swear to the fucking God.
And you know what? Howie put him up against the wall. He's like, you know what? You're paying for him too. You're paying the rest of it.
They're paying him $700,000 this year. Obviously, as Robert Quinn has a really great year, you have a really obviously he's going to be a little bit more expensive next year and the year after. But if he shows you what he was in or even half of what he was in 2021, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Let's get to some of these comments. We've got Brian Daly saying, "What's up, fellas?" And he's saying, "Huge trade for the Eagles." Tommy Boy says, "What's up?" Povia says, "What's up?" Joseph Orakovsky, winning is contagious. Phillies 7-2 record in World Series. Flyers won again tonight. Go to 5-2. Carter Hart is 5-0. Guys, Carter Hart is 5-0. He's back, kid.
So who's the
40-something saves. Love it.
Also, hold up. Why the fuck aren't we talking about the Union in the playoffs? I don't know what the fuck's going on here.
I don't
get me started.
But Union,
don't get me started. I had to deal with all those people this week. I'm not trying to.
Union matter. There you go.
And then, I know Nate's not here yet, so when he gets in, I'll have him talk about the poll question. But let's get to it because I know the second hot topic in terms of the trade deadline coming up is obviously the running back position. There's a lot of rumors going on. Joe Horakowski says, would y'all rather have Alvin Kamara or Kareem Hunt at the deadline? I say Kareem, healthier and runs downhill harder than Alvin, plus I think a third or maybe as less as a 5. So we actually have been talking about this for a while in our group chat. This is nothing new between us, but for all you guys listening in, for those of you who have listened into Birds of a Feather for a long time and know me, you know what my answer is. You know that my favorite running back since 2017 has been Kareem Hunt. There was a little break in there ever since, his little incident. So,
That little tap,
that
tap on the tushy with the foot.
Tap on the tushy. But he has returned as the prodigal son, and he remains my favorite running back in the league. So, if he were to come here, it would be a dream come true. 5 years in the waiting. Like, I've been waiting since 2017. So 5.5 years now, actually, you say. So I'm obviously going to pick Kareem Hunt, but looking at it from an objective perspective and what the team would rather need, if it came down between them two, it still is absolutely Kareem Hunt for the reasons you said. And I've said it to these guys in our chat, like, Kareem just fits what this team needs more. Like, this team right now, it's not lacking for explosives when you talk about Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders will provide explosive plays. What do we need? We need a runner who is good really good in pass pro. They're not giving Trey Sermon any looks. So if you're not going to give Trey Sermon any looks, I mean, I guess you look elsewhere. And Kareem Hunt is awesome in pass pro. Kareem Hunt is also very good in between the tackles, downhill runner. And so, like, if you want someone who is going to be a good complement to Miles, it's going to be Kareem Hunt rather than Kamara. And what I've been telling the guys too is that you got to look at it right now, even like in his prime, Kamara's value as a player, what made him so elite was his ability to be a dual threat. Kind of like a CMC. Like, he's a dual threat guy. So when you use him as a receiver, that's what makes his value so good. However, we don't use our running backs in the receiving game.
Mm-hmm.
We run RPOs, we run zone reads, we run a lot of this play action. So, like, our running backs are oftentimes not going to be used as receivers in routes unless they're just a check down. We don't use them that way. So if you don't use them that way, Kamara, that's taking an element out of Kamara's game that adds a lot of his value. So now you're only looking at Kamara as a runner. And when you compare Hunt and Kamara as a runner, as just strictly as runners, there's no contest right now. There's none. There's no contest. It's Kareem Hunt. It's far better runner than Alvin Kamara is. So that's my pushback with all the Kamara hype is that, like, yeah, he's a great player. And if we can get him for cheap, sure, I will take Alvin Kamara for cheap. But if it's between the two, I'm absolutely taking Kareem Hunt over him because Kamara, like, we don't pass to our running back. So, like, what's the use? So I'd take Hunt over Kamara. Well, I don't know what you guys think, your opinions on between the two. And then once we're done that, we'll get to Nate and have him answer the poll question.
Yeah.
What up, Nate?
Good.
Yo.
Go ahead, Pete.
I think in that explanation and viewpoint, I think you swayed me to Hunt because I just think Hunt is a better fit for the team based off of what we need. If we didn't have Miles Sanders at all, I probably would lean more towards Kamara. But if this is a compliment and how we can spell and use Hunt in the same way he's being used in Cleveland, then yeah. And then I think next year you can transition into him being the lead back if you let Sanders walk. But it's crazy. It's crazy to think that face value, I think Hunt has more value right now in the league than Kamara because of what Kamara has impending, being his suspension next year for the Vegas.
That's another factor too.
So in that case, but see, obviously the Saints are playing hardball with Kamara. I don't know if Howie's checked in on Kareem Hunt, but that'd be a thing. But like I said, if I'm giving up a 3rd round pick, if I'm giving up a high day 2 pick, I mean, I probably would go Hunt first over Kamara. Yeah. So,
Anyone else?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think it's pretty unanimous. I go Hunt over Kamara, but that's just me.
Like,
Yeah, it has to be.
he's better. I think he's better for this offense. He's probably a better pass protector a little bit. He's great. He's just a great catcher of the football, you know. And he's cheap. He's gonna be. His contract is cheap as shit. If you want to extend him, it's not gonna kill you. And you know, he's not gonna cost a fucking 1st or 2nd round pick.
But what I will say is, though, I like when the Saints give me things because it always seems to work out.
yes.
So if you want to give me Alvin Kamara, I'm not going to say no. I'm not against it.
A deal with the Saints that hasn't worked out. That's a very question.
Let's see. Let's go
a really
over.
good
Let's see.
question.
Malcolm Jenkins,
Hit.
Garner Johnson. That's working out.
Hit.
Sproles.
Hit.
Patrick Johnson too.
Yep.
Oh yeah, right. Yep.
Patrick Robinson.
Patrick Robinson. I'm sorry.
Boston Scott.
Yeah,
Oh,
Boston
yeah.
Scott.
He was on
Boston
the practice
Scott was
squad.
first with the Saints. Oh my god. Everything we get from the Saints is gold.
So between
Well, I
them
said
and the Dolphins are kind of like our they're like our college recruiting thing.
Yeah.
Nate, you on?
You need to turn your mic up a little bit.
You guys hear me?
Now you're getting louder.
Barely.
Turn your gain up a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
Good.
How about now? You guys good?
A little bit.
Okay. Yeah, I've been talking shit the whole time and nobody heard me, man.
I just assume you're
Nate,
always talking
you
shit.
took my take. Like, when have we lost when we traded with the Saints?
That's what I'm. Yeah, it's the truth. Like I can't. I can't find. Like literally, when I look at our schedule, like when Nate looks at our schedule, I can't find an L. I can't find one.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's
There's
go.
nowhere else to be found.
That is a very good point, though. That is a very good point.
Let's go. Yeah. No. I completely disagree with everybody. I'm going Kamara because to me, you know what Kamara is to me? He's like Sanders on steroids. Like he's a better version of Miles. So
Yeah.
I'll take that. Like I'll take that. He's like everything Miles does good, Kamara does better.
Yeah.
So I'll take
Behind
that.
this line too. By the
Well,
way,
you could say the same thing about Hunt. Everything Miles does, Hunt does better too. Everything Kamara does as a runner, Hunt does better. So
I just don't think Hunt is as fast.
I think Miles is a smoother receiver, and I think Miles is more explosive than Hunt.
Right.
okay, yeah, Burst. I think Miles and Kamara are faster, but the trade off then is you have Hunt, who is just his contact balance, his strength is off the charts, and he's just, when you look at his game all around, there's just no weakness. He's a great pass protector. He's a great receiver too. We talk about that too. Like we talk about Kamara and his dual threat ability. Like people forget Hunt is a really good receiver too.
So
I'm not taking anything away from Hunt because he's a great receiving threat, but is he the same level as Kamara? I don't think so.
I mean, Kamara, they
that's
would line
where-
Kamara up and run slants. And the other thing is, there's a potential out for Kamara's contract. Don't get me wrong. You have to pay Hunt. That's a fresh contract. And Hunt has yet, this is the key thing, Hunt has yet to see any big money. Remember that. He off his rookie deal, he got released. He got signed by Cleveland on a low deal. Then he signed that 2-year deal, which was like 12. Kamara is already into his second, third year plus his signing bonus. So we can restructure Kamara as well. But at the end of the day, like I think Mr. Wing said it, it's really going to cost you real capital. It's definitely going to cost you maybe a second round pick, if not a second and a third to get Kamara.
You think
Yes.
Because the Saints, no, we already fucked this. Listen, the Saints thought they got the best of us when we got the Chauncey Gardner-Johnson trade. How the fuck did that shit work out for them?
And then 2 days later, what's his name got like fucking busted for domestic.
Is that like, you know what I mean? So and then they know we have, like they said, they want our first. Well, I think you said they want our first. They want their first back. I'm not doing that.
No, you ain't getting anything close to that.
Who you did?
Only if we're getting David Putney.
Yeah, if that's a sign of what they're expecting, yeah, they're expecting a really, really good return back for Kamara. Whereas the Browns, they could let Hunt go for probably some type of day 3 pick.
But
like
let
probably
me
only
let me
possible
pose
for
this
like
question to you. Why do you think we're looking for the running back?
Well, I think it's more so less to do with Miles and more to do what's behind him. I don't know.
Okay.
I know that someone posted the question here, Mr. Wing. He asked, "Why isn't Trey Sermon getting a burn? He was good when he got touches." That's the $1 million question. They used the waiver wire pickup on Sermon. The few touches that he did get, he did really well, but for some reason he's not getting any more looks. So I do not know. I personally, if they and this has been me for the beginning of the season. If for me, it's Kareem Hunt is always going to be option 1. But if you're not going to get Kareem Hunt, just stick with the guys you have. Like I'd rather use the assets to get a safety than get a running back that's going to be maybe an improvement overall to the group. But I mean, like we can survive off of Miles and Sermon and Scott and Gainwell. Like we can be okay. We can be fine. I'd rather get a third safety. I'd rather use those assets to get a third safety.
Abrams.
Who?
Abrams
Jonathan
he's a
Abrams.
heat-seeking missile, man.
No,
I don't know.
I don't think he's
love
as
Abrams.
I don't
love
think
him,
he's playing this.
He's
I don't
always
think
hurt.
And he's not a scheme fit for this system. Like he's more of a box safety. Like you need someone who can play on the back end. That's why I think like Desmond King is a good.
Oh my god, I would cream my shorts.
Desmond King would be a good suggestion. But like that's why like for when it comes to running backs, I think people are, assuming like okay, some people are assuming like we need to upgrade from Sanders. No, I think it's more of like we need someone behind Sanders that they can rely on.
No one really backing them up.
Yeah,
I think you do need somebody because I think there is a definite drop off if Sanders is not healthy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the running game definitely takes a major hit, especially as we can see is with with Sandals healthy. When he's healthy, this running game is different. And if he's not, you have to lean more on Jalen. So you need somebody behind him that is proven, and that's good. I mean, Sermon's good, but is he proven really? Like it's
Right.
No, he's not proven.
Yeah, so I think you need a veteran back there who's a proven star. And I think that's all the guys you're looking at. I mean, from what we know, they took a run at CMC.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So
and fucking John Lynch is stupid as shit.
I agree.
You know what I mean? So we'll see what
I don't think that's
if any of these other ones have any real merit or real buzz. I mean, they're going all in, right, for this year. So we'll see. And I just want to say, my cat does not come up here only for this show, bro. I swear to you not. My cat never comes up here. It's only for this goddamn show.
That's so funny.
That's so stupid.
What else? I think with running back, I mean, like, that's a valid point, and yeah, it's you want to be able to have this running game still like not lose any momentum if Miles were to be out, and I totally get that. I just see what happened to this defense against the Cowboys when Gardner Johnson went down and we had to make Kayvon Wallace. Mm-hmm. I see that drop off.
Yeah,
that drop off to me is the most alarming drop off that we have right now. Mm-hmm. Like I think the drop off with the backup running back, it's like there's absolutely there's a significant drop off from Miles to the next guy, but we can survive because our O-line is just that damn good.
Yeah, right.
But at safety, that's not the case. There's no one protecting you, Kayvon Wallace, if you are the guy back there and you're just continuing to take horrible angles. Like he's a special teams guy. Having him have the thought of having him start if one of our safeties goes down is terrifying. And that's why I'm so glued to getting a safety rather than getting a running back. If you can get me both, absolutely. Get me Desmond King and get me Kareem Hunt, and I will be camping out on Broad Street.
Desmond
Right
King's
now.
what? He's in Houston now, right?
I thought he was on the Chargers, isn't he?
No, he got traded.
That's right. Hold on.
I think he's on the Texans now.
He is on
He's in Lovely Smith's system.
No, he's on the Titans.
Titans. I knew he was somewhere. I knew he wasn't in LA anymore.
No, you're right. Texans. Jesus
Is it the Texans?
He's been bounced. Like it's hard to keep track of him. But
So I mean,
Who did he
isn't
start? The Packers?
no? He started with the Chargers.
He always started with the Chargers?
Started with the Chargers. Where and then Kareem Jackson. That's the other one we talked about.
Kareem Jackson
Who moved from corner.
Denver.
He was a corner in Houston. Then I think he went to Denver as a safety. Is he in Houston now too?
No, he's in Denver.
No, he's Denver.
He moved to safety.
Yeah.
He was a corner.
But their one safety, the rookie safety, is playing well, so he's expendable now. So Kareem's expendable. So that's why, like, I think Ben Solak mentioned him, and I was like, oh yeah, that's actually a good name too.
Yeah.
That's actually really
Whoever Howie wants to trade for, I approve. He's like, literally like whatever. Is there really a guy he could trade for where you're like, oh my god, I don't know about that Howie? And like the last 3 years, like everything he's touched is fucking gold. Like
That's true. That's true. If he's trading for someone, like it's, I think Golden Tate was maybe like the questionable one, even though he did win. He helped us win that one game against the Bears. But,
I would say it was the
I
dude
like
from
Tate.
Cleveland
I
that I
like
was wrong about.
I like Tate. It's just the fit really wasn't.
Yeah.
It was the fit and they didn't use him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great after what, yards after
Yeah. Yeah. Joe does ask another question. Are you all happy with the O-line depth, or did the Driscoll experiment against Dallas scare y'all that we might need some right tackle depth in case something happens to win? I'm good with it still.
I'm fine.
I mean, you're not going to be playing a Micah Parsons every single game.
No.
So
Listen, I just want to say this. For years, I don't know why you say his name that way. It is not his
Sorry,
name.
my bad. I pulled the Pete Young. It's Micah Parsons. You're right.
No, but the only thing I would say to that, I'm cool with this, Joe. It's just that you have to let Driscoll only practice at right tackle. That's
right.
it. He in practice, he needs every rep that he gets now that Dillard's healthy. Right tackle, right tackle, right tackle,
Yeah.
right tackle. So I think it was exacerbated by the fact that he had played left tackle, and then boom, now he has to come and play right tackle without any practice time at right tackle.
That's a good
Is
point.
it time to smash a tablet yet, Brady?
I'm not watching the game.
Yeah, he smashed this. This is a horrible game.
A Thursday night game? Really?
You don't say.
But like I said before the show, last week's Thursday night game was actually pretty good. So
Yeah.
figures it's a night we are not on. We take a break, and then that Thursday night game was good. And then he asked one more question. I don't know if y'all talked about it already. What do you think Eagles do with Quinn 2023 tap hit?
I think it all depends on
Restructured.
how he looks this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because how his contract is now, it's definitely a restructure. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
Or I mean, at that point, does he become the elder statesman and you say bye-bye to BG?
That's a thought I had too. That's possible.
Talk about
I think I could say I see them,
at somebody cookout for sure.
What?
I see them letting Fletcher go before I see them letting VG go.
I agree with that.
I do.
I
agree.
think Cox is done after this year regardless. So I mean,
Yeah.
Cox no more?
Cox no more. Cox no more.
Sorry.
Anyone else along the trade deadline you guys are considering, or if you guys anything like any of the other trades around the league you guys want to touch on. Also, I know that Joe says it's crazy that Carolina took a 2-3-4-5 for CMC, but turned down 3 picks, including 2 ones for their defensive end. I think
Allegedly.
I think if that's the case, I think it's also because Burns could be a centerpiece for that team's rebuild. So therefore, they're more reluctant to let him go because the whole idea of a rebuild is getting young core players, right? Well, if you have a guy who is a young core player, it's a little counterintuitive to get rid of him when you need him.
Well, he's what, 24, right?
something like that.
24, 25, yeah.
I still argue they weren't offered it, and they were just trying to amp up his trade value.
It's just like a starting piece for negotiation. That's all.
Like, yeah, man. We are. So they offered 2 first-round picks for him.
Yeah, we're trying to get bites. That's all it is.
It could be, yeah. Absolutely could be the case. Nate,
Yes, sir.
you haven't answered the poll question yet, obviously. So let's double back. This was a poll question inspired by you.
That's all right.
So let's get your insight on it. Robert Quinn, currently the best pass rusher on the Eagles roster.
Right? Damn, Chuck. Thought we was bro.
Thought we was cool.
Then what happened? I totally missed it.
Obviously, motherfucker, you wasn't on the show when we started. You didn't answer the question.
I invited you to my house and everything. You do this shit to me.
Yeah, I agree. I think he is. I think he instantly is. He has the credibility. He's kind of this year so far. Obviously, we don't watch Chicago games, right?
Right.
But I think he's got the best pedigree on the team as being an elite pass rusher, multiple years in double-digit sacks, and then the fact that he's coming in where he doesn't have to be the starter, like he's a rotational guy. I kind of jokingly said he looked like somebody old head at the at a cookout.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he's going to come in and I think he's got the right attitude. He's going to see how he fits, into the team. I know he already said something about BG already kind of reaching out to him. Kind of old head talk. I think him coming in, I think he can have that kind of what was Long's first name? I forget his first name.
Chris Long.
Chris Long, yeah. Chris Long kind of effect. Right,
Yeah.
that kind of instant pass rusher comes in on third downs and can get you, anywhere from low end 5 to high end maybe 8 or 9 sacks.
Yep.
And in decent in spots, right? Decent in if there was an injury, he could be a starter. Just I think we had that kind of where Long had to be a starter for a little bit there, outside of his normal, and then good enough against the run. I thought it was a great pickup. I think it was a great deal all both way around. We got better from a pass rushing standpoint. And, we gave up some pretty good capital for, an aging defensive end. I agree. I think he instantly becomes our best pass rusher for sure. Nice.
All right. So, anyone else, trade deadline stuff? You guys
this isn't necessarily a trade, but I think it's getting time for where OBJ is going to end up at. I mean,
he said that he'll be back in November, so that's pretty much next week. Yeah. So I'm eager to see where he's gonna go.
I mean, Tampa Bay can use him, obviously.
You think so?
Green Bay, the Rams could probably use him again.
What do y'all think about them trading Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers being traded?
Absolutely.
I don't think they're gonna do that.
No,
I don't see it.
Yeah, they take like a $48 million cap hit if they trade him.
But the return, would
be ridiculous.
Yeah, the return would be.
Yeah, but how much longer do you have? Like you have to have, I can't think of any top of my head, but tell me if I'm wrong. Let me know. Is there a team where if he goes to them, they're just stacked enough to where they're really only a quarterback away? I can't. I off the top of my head, I can't think of any. But
Denver,
the Jets,
Denver, Broncos.
Nobody wants to.
You need to watch Russell Wilson like jazzercise on the fucking plane.
On the plane.
How did this many quarterbacks fall off? I've never seen it.
Imagine if I told you in the offseason that Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, and Aaron Rodgers would all magically get space jammed.
Pretty much.
A bold move, all in move would be the Giants.
Oh yeah.
That would be interesting.
I still don't think the Giants are talented enough.
But he would have more talent there.
They're 6. I mean, whatever reason they are, they're 6-1 with the talent.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, but I think I don't mean that as a slight, because I think the fact that they're 6-1 with that roster, it plays in hand with how phenomenal of a coaching job they're doing down there, and also the players are buying in, so they deserve a ton of credit. A ton of credit. I just don't know if a quarterback is enough to. If you put Aaron Rodgers on the Giants, I still don't know if they are a Super Bowl contender. Is my point.
Okay.
I don't.
Shout out to SJM_86. He says, "What up, fam? I figured I'd drop in while visiting my daughter and chop NICU. Disagree to the poll. Josh Sweat and Reddick are better pass rusher. Quinn's up more ones will equal better. But thank you for your input, SJM. But more importantly, man, prayers up to your daughter.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on
absolutely.
with that situation. Hopefully, it's something that she can get well soon, and it's just only temporary, brother. But our hearts go out to you. Prayers up. But thank you for your input. I disagree with your vision, but I mean, it is what it is. That's why we talk about this.
I think Reddick is a good argument.
Yeah,
I agree.
But then Nate also doesn't like Sweat, so I mean,
he doesn't like to sweat, or he doesn't like sweat.
Sweaty J.
So Sweaty Jays.
Sweaty balls.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you said the Giants.
Giants Saints, and the Jets.
The Jets.
I mean, the Jets make no sense to me.
Ooh, I like
Saints
would
would make sense. but they
Saints
don't
make
have-
perfect sense, but they have no capital.
They gave us their capital. Thank you very much.
Yeah, they did.
Who's another team that's close?
Another team that's a quarterback away? I don't know. Like,
The
I'm trying to
Bucks.
think. Yeah.
can you imagine Tom Brady and Aaron
Oh my god!
Rodgers?
Can you imagine? Oh my god, that'd be
It'd be the greatest quarterback room in NFL
you know
history.
what? No, I do know the Niners.
Oh my god! Those
Nah,
are Niners.
I would
Those
say.
are Niners.
I
No,
would
the
say.
They just
They're-
got-
They're
realistically-
quarterback away. Aaron Rodgers makes them a Super Bowl team,
He grew up a
That-
Niners fan too.
that
so,
is-
I mean,
yeah, I think,
and
that's
he's the only quarterback on the roster who can throw.
Wow. Baltimore 17 unanswered or 14 unanswered.
Damn, I wish I would have. I had a bet for him to throw for 2 touchdowns.
So what happened to? Did you guys see what happened to Mark Andrews exactly? How?
I think it's a knee issue, but
yeah.
I'll give you one team for Aaron Rodgers that legitimately, depending on because their division sucks ass and everybody's floundering. The Colts.
Yep.
But I still don't think they're good enough around him. Like that.
You have
defense-
Jonathan Taylor.
What's
yeah,
that?
but outside of that, their offensive line is playing poorly. Defense is playing poorly.
But you got Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce.
It-
Yeah,
Naheem
who else?
Hines.
it'll be
I
the
think
first
they're just.
team
I think that's just the AFC Packers. Like bad defense, shitty O line, good run game, but one really good wide receiver, and then the rest of them are subpar guys.
Yeah, I totally, and this is on me too, because like I totally overestimated the Colts.
I don't know
thought
how
they
their
were
O
better
line
than
got
that.
bad. I mean,
I don't know how their O line got that bad. Like that. That's,
Maybe they still think they're playing with Carson. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think
He's white and he throws a lot of interceptions. I think he's the same guy.
I agree with Mr. Young the most. I think the team that would make most sense in terms of pro ready is the Niners. But
Yeah.
that's obviously not going to happen.
Yeah, that's not
Well,
gonna
we
Matthew
don't know
Ross says
that. We
the
don't know
Titans.
that. I love chaos.
I like the Giants.
I like that too.
what about the Titans?
You know what would
What
be
do you
a
think
great
about the
setup
Titans?
for Aaron Rodgers?
He's
The
going to a
CFL.
winner. He's not going to go to a mediocre team. He's going to go where he's
No.
been. And
Right.
right now, the Giants are 6-1.
The XFL has some opportunities for him, I hear.
Oh my
But-
god.
But I don't know if he's going to have a shot there. I'm just saying.
Oh god.
So
All right.
I mean, I know I said it a couple times, but the Titans make sense.
They don't have a wide receiver. They don't have a wide
Yeah, they don't have
receiver.
wide receivers. That's the
They
issue.
do.
They have
Yeah,
Robert
yeah,
Woods, but
yeah.
I'm talking about the team that has capital and that has cap space to take on that contract.
Oh,
No.
Dare you disrespect Traylon Burks?
Yeah, how dare you mean AJ Brown 2.0?
Supposedly, yeah.
Supposedly.
Yeah, AJ Brown's like fucking fourth string cousin, maybe.
All right, guys. So let's get to the second quarter now. Before we do, Mr. Pete Evans, can you read for me who it's brought to us by?
Looking to buy or sell a home? Looking for a change of career brokerage? Contact Alan Foy at eXp Realty, LLC, 302-682-8820, or visit him at alan.foy@exprealty.com. Send him a message there. He'll get back to you. Give him a call. His phone is always on 24/7, 365. Housing market is booming. It's kind of waning down a little bit. Interest rates then went up, but got to find somewhere to live at, right?
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
you do, I think he just helped Tom get a new house, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
Correct.
Yes,
correct.
he just helped Tom out with his house, so he's a busy man.
All right, so this Sunday, Eagles Steelers. All right, Steelers are reeling a little bit. They got the rookie quarterback. JJ Watt he could be ready to go this Sunday, coming back from that injury. We'll see. But how can I frame this question? Are you, on a scale of 1 to 10, how concerned are you about this being a potential trap game for the
Zero.
Eagles?
0.
Negative 22.
Yeah, none.
Okay.
None.
All right. That's pretty unanimous. All right. 0, 1. All right. Good.
Like the last 3 games.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
That's fine with me. I was gonna say at least like a 2 because I mean
If we lose to two gloves, we're not a Super Bowl team. We're frauds.
I agree with Pete.
I love Kenny Pickett, but he sucks right now. Okay.
Yeah, he's not good. He's a rookie.
There should be a stat padding game for the defense. They should have like 6 sacks and like 4 fucking takeaways and like 3 forced fumbles. Okay. If you have the Eagles defense in fantasy, good for you this week. Way to go, guys.
Play them. Joe says plus 3,600 for Eagles' first loss to be week 18 against the Giants.
I'll be at that game. So
That would be so bad because I have so much money.
You just hedge it. If you take that now and you hedge it,
We got to get there first, brother. Now, I know the narrative is starting to change, right? People are starting to come around, right? Now we're starting to hear on sports radio, oh, they really could go undefeated. I got them going 10-0 already. And then they brought up the list of quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a
and then all of a sudden we'll get our asses beat by Davis Webb or whatever the fuck his name is.
But,
reincarnation of Davis Webb.
It is funny how timing and stuff is in terms of the takes of the Eagles actually going undefeated, and the fans hate it. Fans don't want to hear us go undefeated because it's just not against history. It's rare, and people who go undefeated, typically don't win the Super Bowl, and that's the ultimate goal. And I get that. But you could call me Money Mattress Moss because I got money.
Right. Always in a mattress.
Every week, I'm putting money on the Eagles going undefeated. I've been saying it for weeks now. And now it's just getting crazy. So now the countdown has begun. And this weekend on Money Pop Podcast, if you haven't followed, go follow me on YouTube. I am starting the countdown by taking shots. For every win,
oh, Jesus Christ.
Shots.
Jesus.
Oh, my
shots
Lord.
of what?
So we're starting with 6
Mike
shots.
Evans. Holy shit.
Starting with 6 shots a minute.
Oh, my God.
A minute.
Oh, my God.
The show is going to be shut down after. This is not going to be a long show.
I'm kind of hoping they lose soon then for your benefit.
Well, you know what? Nate's a bigger guy too, so he can handle alcohol a lot more than most of us can. So he has that advantage. But
back when the Sixers were total fucking garbage, a guy who used to, sadly, my friend who passed away, Joey DiBenedetto, used to, when they were garbage, like he used to do shots of Fireball for how many points they lost by. It got to a point where they lost so badly, he just drank the whole bottle. Like people started making memes about it, where like they sent it to Fireball. Fireball sent that shit over to him.
That's so funny.
God.
His funeral was literally sponsored by Fireball.
He said he started drinking the whole bottle. His funeral.
God.
No, bro. Like seriously, like. They gave us like, because we had like a huge like get together ceremony to honor him. Fireball must have sent over like 400 shirts, bottles, t-shirts. Like we had a
Jesus.
15-foot like inflatable fireball thing. It was amazing.
At a funeral.
Get together in the park. Get together in the park. You
Oh
know.
my god.
I love
fun.
it.
But yeah, no,
Oh my
that's
God.
the play because it's just like I did the take a couple weeks ago and it kind of caught on
Protect your liver.
crazy and now it's starting to catch a little bit steam. So I got to stay ahead of the curve of everybody. So we're doing shots.
Are we still able to bet that their undefeated streak?
Yeah, we're doing shots for every win. So I owe our Eagles faithful and our Eagle Nation, our Eagles fans 6 shots coming this weekend. If you want to check it out, like I said, check me out on Money Power.
Oh my lord.
It's going to be fun for now.
If you wanted Nate, if you wanted to be accurate,
Tommy's hurt.
if you wanted to be real
Who's hurt?
accurate, you would take you would take 1 shot for week 1, 2 shots for week 2, 3 shots for week 3
No,
consecutive. So
No,
if you really wanted it to be spicy
no.
and make up for lost ground.
Make up for lost
liver,
time.
bro. Liver disease is real. Don't need to
Hey,
speed that shit
he's
up.
the one. He's the one that started
But just,
it.
I'm doing it for them, right? I'm doing it for the fans, right?
For the people.
I'm doing it for us.
Oh man, I'm scared to tune in now to the show to see what's gonna happen. With
Oh,
Nate.
and bro, I
Yeah,
got.
but what's the beverage of choice, Nate? That's what I want to know.
Now that's a great question. That is a great question.
I was gonna ask that next.
Bourbon.
It's obviously got to be something smooth. So I think I'm gonna start with Termana. Termana is kind of smooth.
Okay.
I can do tequila shots all day long.
I'm more of a whiskey guy. Tullamore Dew, baby.
Okay. I'm going to take suggestions as well. All right, we're going to range and see how funky we can get with this. I'm gonna start
Sunday
off
morning at 10:30. We're doing shots.
My God,
question. I don't know what I see. That's a good question. I don't know if I want to do it Sunday night during the night game, kind of like a nightcap. But see, if we're 10-0, it's going to be an ugly night.
It's gonna be ugly.
I'm either going to go to bed or the wife is going
Nate,
to.
it's gonna be ugly regardless. Okay.
Drag your ass to bed.
It's going to be one. It's going to be one of the two. So I'm thinking like 10 o'clock in the morning is pretty early, bro. Like taking shots
You think?
10 o'clock in the morning.
10 shots. 10 o'clock.
Yeah, start off the morning with 10 shots.
Oh my Lord.
Jesus.
I
Man.
don't know.
That's going to be tough.
Charles Butter has been asking us, what about Judy from Denver as a trade target, real quick?
Yeah.
No, it's not
I'm
happening.
good. I'm good.
That's
I don't
that
want
is
him.
not happening.
We don't need any receivers.
Yeah, we don't need it. It's not happening. Maybe elsewhere. I don't know. Maybe to another team, but not us. Key matchups. Like, what is one matchup outside, because we don't know, and this is an obvious one. But if he plays, obviously, TJ Watt would be a key matchup to go against Lane Johnson. But outside of that,
Is Minka playing?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I haven't checked on
There's
that.
who?
He hasn't played the last couple of games.
Oh,
Think of Fitzpatrick, yeah.
Yeah.
it's a Micah.
Um,
You mean Micah? Micah.
A good
Mike-
matchup is Kenny Pickett's
No,
interception.
Minka.
Darius
I
Slay.
think his name is Minka, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought it
Yeah,
was
Minka Fitzpatrick.
Minka Fitzpatrick.
No, I actually know what. I shouldn't even say nothing because I can't pronounce names and shit. So my
Y'all be terrible, yo.
Oh yeah, you're
I think
young.
you can literally watch and see who's going to get more interceptions between Bradbury, Gardner Johnson, and fucking Slay.
yeah, I think that's a good call. I think obviously pick it against our secondary, but I also think the coaching matchup, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think the coaching matchup is going to be really interesting because I forget what his record is, but as an underdog, Tomlin's no joke.
Yeah.
Double.
And I you would probably say this is probably the best coaching matchup that Sirianni has faced this year when it comes to a head coach.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Because McCarthy's a joke. Kingsbury is a joke.
Yep.
I mean, maybe Doug Peterson a little bit.
How dare you disrespect Ron Rivera?
I mean, they would. I mean, I love Ron, but come on, man.
Riverboat Ron.
I mean, you got Dan Campbell too, but I mean,
No, I mean, but remember, Doug Peterson, they were down 14-0. So I mean,
Yeah.
shit, assholes was tight.
it
Booties
was
was
very,
clenched, boy.
very in the rain. Tight
Yeah.
butts in the rain. Tight butts in the rain. I'm honestly like, now the Steelers offense is very bland right now. Like The way they use their passing offense is like it's very predictable. It's you have George Pickens, who I think, even though he's a rookie, I think he's the best receiver on that team. But he just runs. He gets the DK Metcalf in Georgia treatment. He just runs vertical routes.
But he catches everything.
You've got Deontay Johnson, who is like he's their one-on-one guy on the outside. They just say like, "Hey, go one on the outside." They have him do that, and then they have Claypool, who runs a lot of the short stuff. So it's very predictable. But I'm eager to. I don't think Pickens is going to have a great game. I think Pickens is going to be blanketed a lot, especially since he runs pretty much vertical. We take away deep shots, so I don't think Pickens is going to have a good game. I think if anything, Claypool could be the one guy that hurts us, if anything. So, I mean,
if
there's
he's
also
there, maybe he gets traded to Green Bay this week.
who
Claypool is in trade talks. I will say that.
he is. Yeah, he is. He is.
I can see the Steelers traded either Claypool or Johnson. Now that you have Pickens, I mean,
did they extend Johnson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Small, very it's manageable.
Okay. Well, if they just extended him, it's probably going to be Claypool that gets moved.
He's been non-existent this whole year.
Yeah, he has.
Yep.
He fucked me over when they played Tampa Bay. In my suicide pool.
Well, who's hurt? Was that Gus Edwards?
It was Edwards, yeah.
She
He
popped
off a big run.
Damn. Are you?
Right.
Yo?
If you're a running back and you're in Baltimore, no, just don't do it.
Yeah, just no.
Just no. If I'm afraid, if I'm Kareem Hunt and it's the off season, like, all right, what teams are interested? Well, Ravens are interested. No. I like my knees, bitch.
Oh God. Sorry. Matt Walsh says, yes, Claypool's stock has dropped off dramatically. Yeah.
That's
I
because
can see him being traded to Green Bay and being effective because Aaron Rodgers likes those big body receivers.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does.
Those big targets. But
yeah. I also, and I'm gonna say this because I'm self scouting too. Like Najee Harris has been a disappointment so far.
Yeah, he has.
It's not to say that I don't think he'll bounce back, but I think Najee Harris has. You have to acknowledge that like he hasn't played well, and I know their offensive line has been bad, but he's also someone who, yeah, we talk about Miles Sanders dancing around too much before, like in years past. Najee Harris is having the same issues right now. Like he's and the fact that you're 230 pounds, I think it's worse. The fact that Najee is the one dancing around too much. Like, hey, you're 230, you're 6'1", 6'2", 230. Take the tough yards. He's not getting tough yards right now. He's trying to run strictly like a smaller guy, and he's got to use his size to his advantage more. And I think I think he has a lot of growing to do still. So, I think we'll bottle him up. We need to make sure we bottle him up.
Mm-hmm.
And Jalen Warren too. Yeah, I mean, I think we match up. Obviously, I think on paper we match up well, and I do expect us on paper to dominate this ball game. But I'm saying that like you never know, especially if TJ Watt comes back. All it takes is a couple of TJ Watt huge plays to turn the tide of the game. So, I'm not gonna.
I'm not concerned with that.
No, he's one.
This is not the type of offensive line you want to see in your first game back.
Yeah,
And
I just want to give respect to the reigning defensive player of the year. I mean, like an elite player. So
yeah, I'm with Pete on this one. I can care less.
I don't give a flying fuck.
Before Nate heads out, Nate, you want to give score predictions for the game?
Yeah,
I like 27-13. I think that I think Pittsburgh makes it a little bit. I think Pittsburgh hangs tough, but I think sooner or later we start to pull away, and they just can't keep up. You guys were talking about Harris. I was about to look at some of his props. I think he actually might have an okay game. He's not expected to, and that's why I kind of think that he might have an okay game. Against
What's the line for his rushing yards?
That's what I was looking. I was about to look.
Oh, you're looking at it right now.
Props.
I want to say probably like 75, maybe 70, 75.
It's not up on FanDuel.
I take the under on that. Like I think he'll get yards by volume, but I don't think it's going to be an efficient day for him whatsoever.
Well, I was thinking about getting. They always have a prop for passing and rushing.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't mind that because you can see a lot of dump offs to him.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
So
That's true.
yeah, give me a second. I'll get you that number.
Cool. Jake, score prediction.
Yeah, to be honest, I really don't think this is going to be close. Kenny Pickett struggled, but again, he's a rookie, so it's expected. But yeah, this is not a team you want to see coming off the bye when they're all rested, and especially how poor this Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line has been. So I think it's going to be a rout, to be honest with you. I think they're going to get up early, and the defense is just going to take care of the rest of it. I'm going to say 31-16 Eagles.
Young.
47. Fuck them. Like
You're going home.
we're literally gonna beat the shit. We're gonna beat the shit out of them. Like, I'm sorry, it's gonna be a fucking bloodbath. I don't like Mike Tomlin. I think fuck the Steelers.
Wow.
I'm an asshole. I do. He's won one playoff game since 2016. Like, get the fuck out of here. But hey, he keeps them competitive.
I mean, that's true. Listen. I'm gonna say this. I don't say this often. I gotta. He. This is there ain't that many of this in the head coaches in the league, so I gotta ride with it.
I get it, and trust me, I completely get it. But still, fuck Mike Tomlin.
Well, fuck you, Pete.
You're lit. Everyone wishes they could have all this.
Talk about my damn black coach.
I wish there were more. I wish there were more black coaches that I could not like, or I could love.
Oh no, that's a sound bite. Oh Jesus Christ!
This was a minute and six, and then like 5 seconds.
How does ATD get canceled? Here we go.
God.
Here we are.
Yeah,
Don't even give me Mike McDaniel. He don't count.
I didn't say it like that.
That was not my fault. I washed my hands.
I didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry. I meant more black coaches in the NFL. More black coaches in the NFL. Please don't cancel me, Internet.
The views of Pete Wong are not reflected on the views of HUD.
Black Lives Matter. God damn it.
That's and they're a fucking farce. Don't even get me started with them.
Oh my god.
Anyways.
Moving on.
Nate, what was your score prediction, Nate?
I had 27-13.
27-13.
So the prop is up, but his receiving and his rushing is up, but not the total prop. So his right now Najee Harris rushing is over 48.5, and his receiving is 14.5. I still kind of like his.
I like
his receiving.
Rushing. So
the rushing, I think he can meet because of volume.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, he's going to get anywhere from 12 to 15 touches.
Yeah.
And for him not to get over that, like, I'm looking at his past games. Like, New England's a decent rushing defense.
Right.
And he had 15 carries for 49 yards. Like, that makes sense. That sounds right to me.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to get that type of volume. He's going to get anywhere from 15 to 20 total touches.
And especially if we're all big and in the second half we play conservative, we're gonna be in four down lineman packages, and so they're gonna run on us. So I can see him making it up in the second half, especially if we're in a big lead. So
I like the rushing over because I think the past couple games we've given up some. We've been a little bit susceptible to the run. That's why I think the game's going to be like a little not close, but it'll be competitive.
They're going to stay in it, yeah.
Just because they'll be able to run the ball, get some third downs, third and short.
Get those Minshew bets in.
Oh God,
that's what I'm thinking. So
I think Minshew plays a whole quarter. That's how dominant I think this game is going to be.
Don't set yourself up for failure. You're going to be disappointed.
I mean, I'm already a failure, so I can't like set myself up any further down than I am.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
Jeez.
Sorry, internet. I didn't mean it.
I'm just looking for the upside down cross in the back of your motel that you're looking at.
Motel that you're sleeping in.
Let's look at the motel with the Bible on the right. That's what I'm looking
I
at.
don't even know where my Bible is. I don't even remember the last time I went to church.
All right, dude, we get it. You have red contacts. Relax.
God.
This dude on Thursday Night Football has red contacts in.
All right, Nate, you out?
Yeah, let me I'll check out now. Once again, everybody, like I said, Money Pop Podcast. The countdown has begun.
Wait, you have a podcast?
Just a little bit. Yeah, just one.
Just one. Just one.
So go ahead and follow me on Money Pop Podcast on YouTube. Obviously, if you guys haven't followed Chuck's, I'm one of the biggest believer in Chuck's in his video review. So if you haven't followed Chuck's, definitely follow Chuck's on YouTube for his video review. For us nerds who like to watch video, he's making me he's bringing me back a little bit. So I don't mind it at all. But the countdown has begun to our undefeated season. I will be taking shots for every win that we get.
I'll be praying for you.
I owe you guys 6 shots. So
I will say a Hail Mary for every shot you take.
10 o'clock in the morning, we're taking fucking shit.
10 o'clock in the morning.
You got to make it to kickoff. Like that's what I'm concerned with.
Let's go.
You got to make it to kickoff at least.
We'll figure something out afterwards where it's its own thing, its own show. Yo, bro, I got a bar set up for this. It's
We need to make sure we check in on Nate during
the game. Yeah,
right.
Nate got to share his location, man.
Yeah. All right, brother. Get with you guys.
All
right, Nate.
We'll talk to you
later.
Pete, you haven't. What's your score prediction for the game?
We've only scored over 30 once, and that was week 1 against the Lions.
Yes. Yep.
I think we see some wrinkles. I think they're going to be buttoned up. I mean, the bye week is self-scout thyself, right? So you kind of figure out what you guys do well and then how teams try to stop you. So I expect the offensive explosion coming out of the bye week. So I'm gonna go 34-17. That we double them up.
34-17. Okay. I'm going to say I'll say 31-17.
Okay.
And I think it's only that close because the Steelers get some garbage time points.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think it's going to be a blowout. It's going to be dominating. Let's get to the third quarter now. Let's turn it up. But before we do, our sponsor for the third quarter is, if I have it here, Fan Up. They're the best way to enjoy fantasy sports, daily NFL contests, and more. Win great prizes. Sign up today. Use promo code A2D for 5,000 bonus points, which is a $50 value. All right, guys, NFL talk. We haven't been on for a while, so I don't know if you guys have any.
There's nothing to talk about. The rest of the league sucks.
It's amazing how bad the league is this year. It's not even funny how bad these games are.
I'll
who's great? The Saints. They're playing great football.
It's great that they're losing. Yes.
Yeah.
Let me start off with this then, because I feel pretty sad because I feel like we've been cheated out of what should have been a really special race for Offensive Rookie of the Year between 2 incredible rookie running backs.
Okay.
I am really upset that Breece Hall is out for the year.
Yeah.
As you could have seen, like he was tearing it up.
He had like 2 carries, 72 yards, and a touchdown.
And then
and then the ACL went.
Yeah, boom. And then obviously Kenneth Walker, ever since he got the starting job last week, had that one long run, and then this past week tore it up again, 168 yards on the ground. And if you haven't checked out, I did a quick film breakdown short on Kenneth Walker's game. Check it out on my YouTube and all my socials. But man, it's upsetting because I wanted to see these guys go neck and neck with each other.
Mhm.
Like, I really felt like those two were going to put on a show week after week, saying, "Okay, here's Walker running for 150. Here's Brees running for 125. And the next week, here's Brees going for 160. Here's Walker going for 130." You know what I mean? Like, I really, really wanted to see them go at it, and I hate seeing Brees go down like that. So, you know, I hope he gets better. I hope that Brees comes back healthy, better than ever next year. And you know, I hope that he does well. And you know, he deserves better, man. We as a fan base deserves better.
Real quick,
we got cheated out.
See, I love this, right? Wick says San Fran is a problem. No, they're not. No, they're not.
What problem?
Let's get into that after. Hold on. Let me finish. With that being said, boy, Kenneth Walker is the truth.
He's so good.
And
He's
bro,
so good.
Like this time next year, we should already be talking about Kenneth Walker if he stays healthy. Okay, if he's healthy the whole year. Kenneth Walker should already been talked about as a top 5 running back in the league.
So mad.
He is legitimately like scary good. Like scary good. So like I don't know how closely you guys have seen his games, but man, like everything I saw in college, holy crap. Like holy crap, it's translated.
Yeah.
And he's just so special. I love the way he runs. Jake and P, I know I gave this comparison before, you know, during draft season, and I'll say it for all those listening now. The way he runs, because his vision is so next level and he's so composed and poised, even when there's unblocked defenders in his face, he just sees the field so well. It's like he is a character in the Matrix, where
I do it now. I remember this. Yes. Okay.
everything else is moving at slow-mo, and he's moving in 10 times speed. He just watch the way he runs. Like he sees everything beyond that first level. And if there's penetration in the backfield, there's no panic to his game. He's always under control, and he's so poised, and he can he makes it look so easy to where he'll make a defender miss, and it's like nothing. So that ability is so special. I'm just praying he stays healthy, but man, like it is amazing to see him run the ball. I am rooting, and I guess this can kind of allude to our discussion about San Fran, but I've officially switched, and I'm rooting for the Seahawks to win the NFC West. Like, I want the Seahawks to win that division so badly now.
Hashtag Team Geno.
Because, man, Kenneth Walker, Geno Smith, Tariq Woolen, are you kidding me? I want Kenneth Walker and Tariq Woolen to both be offensive.
Tariq Woolen may be DPOY. He may be Defensive Rookie of the Year, man.
Yeah.
So, question.
So,
when was the last time a team had the offensive and defensive Rookie of the Year?
I don't know.
Has it
ever been done?
I don't know. Anyone listening, if you know the answer to that, find out, because I was wondering that too. Because I really hope that happens here. I really hope
Hamilton just got hurt, by the way.
I just saw that. Yeah. I really hope the Seahawks get offensive and defensive Rookie of the Year this year.
I remember. I vividly remember me and Chucks on Saturday. Like, yo, he's still on the board. 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 Fucking bitch. He's not on the board anymore.
Like 2 or 3 picks before.
No, not even the pick before.
Of course it was.
The pick before. Not the.
I know.
It took him the first game. He had a couple DPIs. I was like, all right, he's finding his way. But now,
he's crazy.
He's so good.
He is crazy. His range is unbelievable.
Well, it's like when Sherman played, just like the length that he has.
Yeah.
It's insane.
He's a more athletic Richard Sherman.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's scary.
He's faster.
That's so scary. And you can tell he ain't a defensive player when it comes to hands. He can catch the damn ball. Like,
Yeah.
his receiver background is so apparent. He can catch the damn ball. He is something else. He is. I don't want this to sound like disrespect, but like if you're talking about ball skills, like Trayvon Diggs' ball skills last year, but not giving up the big plays.
Mm-hmm.
Trayvon Diggs, like imagine him, but not having to give up the big plays. That's Tariq Woolen is just every time you throw his way, it can be an interception. It's insane.
Yeah.
So, oh man, and then with Geno Smith, Geno Smith is like playing like a top 5 quarterback in the league right now.
What if Geno wins MVP?
Oh my god!
Oh my God.
What are the odds in that? Somebody bring Nate back.
Yeah, what are the odds? Oh my god! Like that team right now is so fun to root for. So man, I hope they win that.
I like them to win this week too.
So do I.
Well, Russ Cook, man.
But the thing is, they have the Giants in Seattle, but they don't have any DK. That's what worries me a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's also and this is the thing. Let's kind of get it to around the league. Why Doug Peterson just didn't kick the field goal up 17-13?
I don't get that either.
Every time you watch the Giants games, it's always the Giants are kind of hanging around and they ultimately win the game and they're 6-1 and you take a win. But it's always the opposing team doing stupid shit.
Stupid, yeah.
It just doesn't make sense to me what they're doing.
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
I agree. Like whenever the Giants play whenever the Giants play, the other team just makes dumb decisions. Like just and like credit to the Giants for capitalizing. I don't want to take away anything from them because, like I said earlier in the show, they deserve all the credit in the world because they are just executing and they're taking advantage of everything coming their way.
Yep.
And they're not making mistakes, and that they deserve credit for that. I will give flowers to the Giants all day long, and I'll give them respect, especially over the Cowboys. Like, their fans are another thing, but the Giants. I just rival aside, they're like I like the way they're playing. So, I kudos to them. But like, you can tell like that's what I was alluding to earlier is that. They like roster wise, you can tell they don't have a great roster. So they are a beatable team, but you can't be making
they're coached well, so you can't make mistakes. You got to play a clean game against the Giants in order to beat them. But if you play a clean game, ultimately, I hope he stays healthy. But right now, Saquon is a landslide to win comeback player of the year. It's just
landslide.
It's not even fucking. You could quietly long shot MVP because without him, where would they be?
Nowhere. Yeah, he's their offense. He's legitimately.
Yeah, you just traded Kadarius Toney to the Chiefs. You're not even playing Kenny Galladay, who was horrible, worst signing in a while. That's their Namdi. Yeah. That's their Namdi. So you got Darius Slayton, you got Wan'Dale Robinson because Sterling Shepard, his knee blew up again.
What knee?
Exactly.
Yeah. It's fucking like duct tape, man.
I do like Bellinger, but I think Bellinger he got poked in the eye bad.
I don't know how long he's out for though. I didn't
fractured his eye socket.
Oh really? Shit! Oh, so he got Joel'd.
Like if you look at it, it's like the biggest freak accident too, because the guy's just his hands are like this, and just where his head was, it just collided with his eye.
Oh my! God.
That's why I would play with a visor always.
Oh, it was awful.
God.
So a clear visor or something, but
Plus,
I can kind of see that you want Seattle to win the West. They got quality wins too. It's not like they're beating jabronis, they beat the Chargers on the road. They beat the Cardinals there handily.
Yeah.
They put up 37 against the Chargers.
It's wild.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah, if you have a Geno who's playing the way he is, they obviously have the receiving weapons. I mean, you have I know DK. I'm just talking overall. I'm not talking about just this week, but DK, Tyler Lockett, one of the better wide receiver duos in the league. Plus, behind them, like Marquise Goodwin isn't playing horrible either.
No.
I forgot he was in the league.
So did I.
Former Eagles great.
I always root for Marquise Goodwin. If you don't know
I
about
like him.
His story is.
his story is after you hear.
I love him. I love him. I would rock
always
the
hate
Marquise Goodwin jersey all day.
Yeah. But yeah, like the receiving core is good. Their tight end Will Dissly, as long as he stays healthy, is fine. And plus, they got Noah Fant. So their tight end room is fine. And then obviously their offensive line with their two rookie offensive tackles, they're running the offensive line is playing really well. And then obviously you have Walker. So that offense can go toe to toe with any defense. Like they really can hold their own. So
look at T-Jax just sitting there.
I didn't see
it. They should have promoted
He's
Byron
on the
Leftwich.
sideline with like the big chain and everything in the hat.
They promoted the wrong coordinator to coach. I think Bowles is not a head coach. He just needs to focus on the defense, and that's it.
I forget the reason why they said they didn't promote Byron.
This shit's you couldn't do this to the Bucs last year, and a lot of the injuries is on the defensive side, but it's in the backfield. The Bucs never used to get gashed like this in the run game.
Well, Tom Brady is also going through the most emotional turmoil of his life. He's probably not focusing on football. That's just my opinion.
I mean, he's missing dumb shit, but some of this, they're not losing. I mean, they're kind of losing the game because of the offense, but the defense can't get a fucking stop.
I don't think their defense
Baltimore has 450 yards of offense.
That's insane.
And 16 more minutes of time of possession.
That is insane.
That has nothing to do. I mean, the offense, you're not being effective, but the defense can't get on the fucking field.
I just think their defense is overrated. I've felt that way the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
What was I gonna? I forget what I was gonna say.
My God,
yeah, they can't. But okay, so we all agree. We all are rooting for the Seahawks. Obviously outside of the Eagles, but yeah, the Seahawks have won my heart this year. I am rooting for them.
They broke my heart in New Orleans.
So that leads us to this. Wick saying San Fran is a problem. So you guys have clearly have a lot to say about the trade and the way I'm gonna let you guys go first because
you're right. There is a problem. It's called that whole fucking team.
I wouldn't go that far, but
I want to go that far. But
there is. I will say the past couple games, I finally see what Chuck was talking about. Jimmy G is not. He ain't it, bro.
No.
He fried his brain.
It's this what doesn't have the greatest skill set, but it's the dumb decisions that he's making, and but Shanahan has no other option to fucking go to.
Yeah.
No other option to go to. I mean, they listen. San Fran is a problem as long as Jimmy G is running right. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's the most thing with the quarterbacks, but he really is. He's kind of holding it back. Nor do I think Trey Lance was the answer either. But at the same time, you lost 44-23 against the Chiefs. Now, the reason why I say I'm not concerned because I know our defense is better than Kansas City, pitch, and I know if they see us, they're gonna have to come to Philly and do that.
Yeah,
so that's why I'm not concerned. Yeah, well, at that time, will Christian McCaffrey become more acclimated with the offense? Sure, of course, but at the same time, bro. And then what shocked me was I thought D'Amico was it, and they went to Atlanta. I mean, I know they had some injuries on the defense, but they wasn't even in that game.
I know Eric Armstead is a huge piece of their defense and their run defense, but man, the last two games they got absolutely annihilated.
Yeah.
And you can't tell me Eric Armstead is the sole reason why. So I get it, and they've been hurt, but they still have pieces there to where they should have still been able to put up a better fight, and they didn't. So that is on D'Amico Ryans and that defense. But on the offensive side, I see the CMC trade for me. I liked it for them. To me, it makes sense for them.
Yeah.
Part of it is because of what you said. Jimmy G holds them back, so they have to make sure the rest of that offensive roster is Jimmy G proof. To where like, okay, Jimmy G is going to have to do the least amount of work,
Okay.
and the rest of the skill positions are going to be leaned on. So you have now at running back a guy who is just as good as a receiver as he is a running back. And so you can mix and match your starting running back, and you can do what you do with Debo. You can do what you do with Juszczyk, with Kittle. Like all their weapons now can be lined up on different parts of the offensive formation and do different things. So it gives Kyle Shanahan the ability to do what he wants to in terms of versatility. However, and I tweeted this right after the trade went down last week, and I was going off from my I ran it off a bunch of reasons why this was a good trade for to get CMC. But at the end of it, I also said at the end of the day, this doesn't change the simple fact that Jimmy G is the sole reason why the San Francisco 49ers might not get over the hump. That has not changed. With CMC, you still have GMG as the biggest question mark. That doesn't change anything.
It doesn't. But the thing is, the reason why I say John Lynch is fucking stupid, you have nothing. You have no capital whatsoever to give. I mean,
they're doing what the Rams did. The Rams fucked them picks, and they're trying to go, okay, let's fuck them picks. And they do still have some picks, like, in the third round.
But the Rams did it with the biggest fuck them picks, but they had a quarterback.
Right.
But their equivalent to that was Trey Lance. So they fucked it. Like they're fucked
in
over.
their mind, yes.
Yeah, that's
in their mind, yes. Okay.
In their mind, yes. Their Stafford was Trey Lance. They tried to get their Stafford and they tried to get their Stafford by drafting the next Josh Allen in Trey Lance.
Right.
That's what they were seeing. But him getting hurt fucked them over so bad. It just like you
said, they should have just fucking played him last year, bro.
That's what exactly. Yeah. So I said you fucking play him last year because you knew he needed reps. He needed reps to be able to get like last year. What you're gonna play Jimmy G? Then what you're gonna get to the Super Bowl and lose? Like he's not the answer. So he's not your future. Just fucking play Trey Lance. He needs to play football. The year before in college, he didn't play football because of the pandemic. So you're going to sit him again and not have him play football? You need to have him play football. And that's why I was really highly critical of Kyle Shanahan last year because you're not playing Trey Lance when you invested so much. And now you're seeing in 2022 the consequences of that. The consequences of I know getting hurt is a bit flukish, but if you had played him last year, you at least know better on right now where you stand.
Do they go to the NFC Championship game last year?
What was that?
Do they go to the NFC Championship game if he played last year?
I don't know. And here's the thing why I say I don't know. Because it's not like they were a 1 seed or a 2 seed last year. They made it in barely as a wild card, and they got hot in the playoffs. So if Pete, if you remember me during the start, I said, man, if they had played Trey Lance all year and he was just okay enough to where they could still be a wild card team,
that's a win.
Trey Lance would be more seasoned at that time during the playoffs to where he possibly could have maybe I'm not guaranteeing it, but maybe he still could have won against the Rams. Maybe. We don't know.
He would have definitely. I think he would have caught him off guard.
Yeah.
He when it comes to explosive plays from your quarterback position, it's like Jimmy G can do something stupid, but Trey Lance would do something stupid and come back and get you a 40, 50 plus yard play.
Exactly.
And Jimmy G can't. He can't do that.
Nope.
Yeah.
That roster's way too talented, bro, to lose 20. Don't get me wrong. This is where I say coaching fucking matters.
Yes.
Andy Reid is just listen. I will say this: he don't have the rings. He doesn't have the rings, and he has a lot of losses. But Andy Reid's a better coach than Bill Belichick right now, hands down.
Right now, yes.
Right now, hands down. And I dare to say this: if Andy Reid had Tom Brady, probably the rings would be the fucking same. Probably the rings would be the fucking same. Andy Reid is on the Mount Rushmore of coaches. Like,
Oh, I agree.
it's just it's fucking ridiculous to have that roster to lose Tyreek Hill, and you still can put up points consistently in a whole different fashion on how you used to play the game or how you used to call the offense, and now you give them another weapon. It's just it's amazing, bro. It's but San Fran is talented. Now, did Fred Warner, is he out?
I don't think so.
I'm not sure.
I know he was being evaluated for a concussion. Like I know he missed a couple plays. I didn't watch the game heavy because I was all into the Phillies game. I mean, that game didn't fucking matter. It was baseball Sunday. But
I think he's okay.
But if he's okay to play, I don't know. I mean, they should win this week because they always fucking beat the Rams.
Yeah,
they've always ever since Todd Gurley stopped playing for Los Angeles, they always beat the Rams. Can't beat the 49ers. Except that when they did it in the fucking NFC Championship game
last year, that was them over the hump.
Now, because the Rams haven't made any moves, right? They haven't traded for any offensive linemen.
So what are they trading with? like what are they using? Like a 2042 pick? Like, come on now, man.
Yeah, they don't have anything to trade for. They're stuck.
Well, they said, fuck them picks. Well, guess what? Fuck them. Fuck that quarterback staying upright. That ain't happening.
Yep. And now that they're trying, I know they're trying to deal Cam Akers. He's probably going to get dealt. So
I'll take him for an 8th round pick.
But yeah, like you said, it's not going to be for anything. I mean, they don't have any leverage. They're going to get one.
All right, I have a great trade idea for Cam Akers. Are you ready? All right, so we're going to trade a washing machine. And then they're and I want their fax machine and Cam Akers.
Who has a fax machine still?
It's look, man. That stadium is old. Okay, it's probably there.
Banking is a little bit different, but like where we're at, everything is all email fax. It's like all
we still use fax machines at my dealership.
I mean, I can see like certain businesses, banking and auto dealerships. I get it.
Yeah,
but like anything else outside of that, like
I'm
just
telling you, if I don't get that fax machine back, I'm not going to take on Cam Akers. I'm sorry. It's just it has to be that fax machine.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, San Fran is I love Kyle. I still will root for San Fran, but man, like they've lost me in terms of like. I'm just still mad they didn't play Trey Lance last year. And
I think he's the most overrated coach ever.
We'll get into that.
I'm sorry.
I don't have the energy.
So overrated.
Who's that?
Kyle Shanahan. He's an overrated coordinator. He's an overrated head coach.
Gonna sit this one out.
I'll put it like this.
Kyle Shanahan is the choking meme. That's what he is.
But I don't think Kyle Shanahan is being done any favors by John Lynch.
Oh, he's not. His GM is fucking him right now.
Yeah. They stepped in dog shit that first year.
Yeah.
Got off to that hot start, but John Lynch you're giving up too much. You're thinking he's running a team as if he was a fan. Like there's no way in the world you should have gave up all those picks for fucking Christian McCaffrey.
God bless him.
No way in the world.
No.
I mean, not what was it? Two 2s, 2 3s?
2 2s, a 3, and 4, and a 5. I think. I could be wrong though. That's just
that is a lot. Regardless, that's a lot.
No, I'm not for a player that they drafted running backs because the Carolina Panthers drafted running backs because they couldn't count on Christian McCaffrey.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It was a pipe.
Well, there was a stat that it was like he played 3 games in like 2 years or something like that.
Yeah, like
something crazy.
So
I mean, go ahead, Chuck.
I think that I think it makes sense because I don't think you can look at it as I don't think you can make the argument that hey, they've always drafted running backs in whatever round and they've worked. I don't think you can use that argument because Christian McCaffrey is not just a running back. He's a wide receiver too.
But you already got a number. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to, bro. That's still a lot.
No, I know it's a lot. I'm saying like in terms of fit.
Okay.
This is why they were looking at him is because none of the running backs they've ever had can do what Christian McCaffrey can do. So
But
in an
has,
offense
has
where
Kyle Shanahan ever needed a running back like Christian McCaffrey?
you got to ask him. I feel like he's never. I feel like from experience of from going back to Washington, the Cleveland Browns, the Atlanta Falcons, he's never had the most talented running back he's had outside of Christian McCaffrey is Devontae Freeman. Well, even Devontae Freeman wasn't the type of running back that CMC.
That 2015-16 Atlanta backfield was Freeman and who was the other
Freeman
one?
and Coleman.
Yeah, Tevin Coleman. Yep.
And they were eating. Both of them were eating. So like, I think the fact that Kyle Shanahan's system makes ordinary running backs look really good hides the fact that, hey, imagine what Kyle could do with a truly special running back then. Like, imagine what he could do with a running back that's actually elite, and he's never actually had an elite running back. So that's a big question that I think not a lot of people are asking and looking at from that perspective. Now, at the same time, again, you're giving up a lot of assets for a player who hasn't been healthy and has maybe if he's healthy has 2 years of high productivity left most. Was that like reasonable? Because he's still, when he's on the field, he's still really good. He's producing.
Yeah.
But I'd say like around 2 years of that type of productivity left. Like
Julio
your
Jones
window now, that doesn't match your window of CMC.
Right.
Doesn't match up with the window you have at quarterback. If Trey Lance is your quarterback of the future, Trey Lance needs another year or two now that he's hurt.
Right.
So, like, why are you trading for a CMC who's only going to be good for another year or two? That's what gets me. And it doesn't. The timelines don't match up. That's where I'm critical of.
But his dad played there once. Come on.
I think that's pretty cool though. I mean,
I still think that I would have liked to see him go to Denver.
I would have rather him go to Denver because at least people actually fucking remember he played in Denver.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, how many people actually remember that Ed McCaffrey played in San Francisco?
Yeah.
I didn't even know he played in San Francisco.
Exactly. I didn't know that either. I was just like, wait, what?
I remember him as 87 in Denver.
87 in Denver. That's what he's known for. So, yeah. But that's it. We'll have we'll bookmark the whole Kyle Shanahan overrated thing for the off season when
I was gonna say that's an off season.
That's an off season. My ass off about it.
Yeah, and I can tear one into you again.
I mean, if they go like 4-12 or whatever, what the fuck are you laughing at?
Well, but that's the thing. It's like it's hard to gauge Kyle Shanahan versus John Lynch. And I know a lot of the things.
Just maybe, they're both fucking stupid.
I wouldn't say it. Shanahan's been proven though. Shanahan's been proven.
And let me say this: a lot of fans. I'll say this, and this will be it for Kyle. A lot of fans, like Pete Young over here, they'll say, "Oh, he's overrated. He's a choker." Blah, blah. And on the surface, they can say that. If you go around the league and you hear players, executives, and other coaches talk about Kyle Shanahan, they absolutely love him. There is not a single player I've heard, or a coach, or executive, or scout that has ever said, "Oh yeah, Kyle Shanahan." They all praise him and look at him at a high regard, very, very high regard. Yeah. And if you know the work that Kyle Shanahan has done to be able to prove himself as someone that's not just Mike Shanahan's son, but to prove himself as like a legitimate coach, like he has done a lot of work, and he's He's moved up the ranks and put in the work to prove himself. So
I mean, you're learning.
I'm going to trust the word of actual NFL players, coaches, and executives over what outside fans looking in are going to say about Kyle Shanahan. So,
well,
but
you also know Pete judges. He puts a lot more weight on QBs and coaches versus the GMs and shit. So that's just his stick. That's his views. So I think am I right in saying that, Pete? Is that correct?
I think it all depends on situations. Like I think for certain teams, I will hold the GM to a higher estimation than I would the coach.
Right.
But like I think John Lynch is an up and down GM. I think Kyle Shanahan is an up and down coach. I think Kyle Shanahan gets praised to the fucking nines, and every time he has that opportunity to show everyone that he's that guy, he crashes and burns. And within 5 years, Kyle Shanahan could prove me wrong and win 2 fucking Super Bowls.
Show
Pete Young what the fuck. I don't know my head from my asshole, but
they need to get rid of John Lynch for that to happen.
So I think that one thing I'll say to the whole choking thing, if you want to say the team choked in the Super Bowl versus the Chiefs, that's fine. You can't hold Kyle Shanahan accountable for the Falcons choking against the Patriots.
I'll give him 50%.
No, because
I give him 50%. I'm fair. I'm a fair guy.
No, because Kyle Shanahan wasn't the head coach of the Falcons. He was the offensive coordinator. And last time I checked, the offense put up 28 points against the Patriots. Last time I checked, the offense was up 28-3 going into the fourth quarter.
I mean, all you gotta do is run the ball. I mean, that's Shanahan's
it wasn't really Kyle Shanahan's choke job for that Super Bowl. It was, if you want to blame people, it was the defense, and it was the head coach.
Let's stretch Armstrong up there.
So yeah, it's really not fair. I think it's being really selective with criticism to say, oh yeah, he choked. Kyle Shanahan choked in that Super Bowl. No, he really didn't. Like, he put up 28 points. The offense did their job. The defense choked. So
you tell yourself whatever you need to, Reed Richards.
I mean, you can tell yourself what you need to make yourself feel better at night. I mean,
I feel great. I feel great. I feel great at night.
The facts say that Kyle Shanahan
look in the mirror and just realize how pretty you are.
Was the offensive coordinator, and they put up 28 points. So you tell me who choked, and it wasn't Kyle Shanahan.
With the walking choking hazard around his neck.
Oh man,
he can't. He probably can't eat by himself. He might die.
So fourth quarter, no huddle, which is brought to you by Pete. If you can read it off to us.
Gleason's Bar, located at 6700 Mill Creek Avenue, Levittown, PA. Use promo code A2D for 10% off your order whenever you dine in, take out, or order online at Gleason'sBarandSteaks.com.
Both know I can't read.
No huddle. I don't know if you guys want to talk about. I did not watch Black Adam. So
okay.
Fuck you.
You're the only one of the three who haven't seen. You've seen it yet, right, Jake?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
So good.
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
So good.
I think it's getting unfair criticism from the critics.
Yes.
Of course.
They're mad because it's a fun action movie. Like
I enjoyed it for what it was.
It's a fun action movie. It starts off a little slow in the beginning because they're trying to figure out what
people still be dying. People still be dying, but
yeah.
I want that R movie. Like fuck the Ayer cut. I want the Black Adam cut. Oh my god.
I think Marvel has the way Marvel told stories and how deep they got has spoiled a lot of people.
I agree.
You know what I mean? If you go look before what superhero movies was, if you go look at the Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, and it was just, all right, let's come in, let's turn the brains off, and let's fucking have a good time. And even the first Iron Man was like that.
Yep.
You feel what I'm saying? So now, but I don't know.
Well, was it really Marvel that was storytelling one? Because last time I checked, the Dark Knight was and Batman Begins.
Yeah,
was
but
the movie that really,
but that like even the Dark Knight was a standalone thing. Once Marvel introduced it, because the thing that you're hearing about Black Adam is, oh, they missed this, they didn't tie this together, and that's where Marvel came in and started
okay,
to
I get
see
I thought you were
cross shit where it was a bigger picture view. You know?
I mean, I was actually surprised at how well they tied everything together. They told it in a different fashion than they did in the Shazam movie, but the message is still there. Like what they explained in Shazam is 100% explained in Black Adam. And I was talking to P about this in our group text. I'm like, I was fucking shocked at how much they reference Shazam.
Yep.
How many Shazam characters are actually in this movie?
Batman and Logan, bro. Yeah. I mean, if you like a more dramatic superhero movie, yes.
Yeah. Logan was awesome. Logan, I will never watch again.
Yeah, it's one of those where
It's
like
one
you
of those
watch it once and you
watch
good.
it once and that's all you can take. Like
and you're really good.
It's just like it's super fucking like Logan's a great fucking movie, but it's
very dark,
depressing for my taste.
It's real depressing.
Yeah. Really
it's like, hey, all the mutants you know and love are fucking dead.
Yeah, they're all dead or they're getting killed.
Oh, hey, here's
just kill them. They're dead.
Yeah, it was a really tough. It's like that and Joker. I'll never watch again. But
I'll watch Joker.
I have no desire to see that.
I'll watch Joker.
What the Joaquin Phoenix one?
Yeah.
You didn't like it?
Yeah, I loved it. It's just, but like it's hard to it's not. I don't think it's something I would sit there.
It's a lot in one movie. Yeah, it's a lot.
The premise is just for me. I just don't get it.
I hear you.
Like I hear he's amazing in it, but I'm just like I just don't get it.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
703 eBay said, "I'm sorry, Batman is overrated. Ledger made the movie, so I'm assuming he's talking about Dark Knight." Yes. Which I would agree. I would tend to agree. Dark Knight by itself,
I don't like the Dark Knight.
If you take Ledger out of it and you do the Robert Pattinson Batman, is
oh my god,
I think that's a better overall movie.
I think the Dark Knight is an amazing movie. I think it's a bad Batman movie.
I agree, 100%.
Really?
You're going to have me go off again.
Well, I mean, it was more focused around. Like, if you look at it, it was more focused around the Joker anyway.
The Dark Knight trilogy is not. They're not films about Batman. They're films about Gotham City and Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, and which is fine. So it's a bad Batman movie, but it's an A+ movie. It's like one of the top 50 best movies ever. And I'll say that. But I don't think it's a good Batman movie. I think Dark Knight Rises is a better Batman movie than Dark Knight.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But Dark Knight is a better movie than Dark Knight Rises. You understand what I'm saying with this?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Okay. Overall, we agree, but I still can't say that Dark Knight Rises is a better Batman movie because Batman was hardly in Dark Knight Rises. I still think Dark Knight Rises was a phenomenal
as a movie fine. As a movie about Batman, The Dark Knight Rises is better than The Dark Knight.
Yeah, we are split. Ted says
semantics. I think we're talking about
we are split hairs.
I do think one thing we will agree with is I think Dark Knight Rises it doesn't get the credit it deserves.
Yeah, I agree.
People hate on it so much, and I don't know why.
I don't get that either.
Phenomenal movie.
I think Tom Hardy's Bane might have something to do with it.
I didn't mind it. Like I didn't mind the Tom Hardy's.
Yeah, but he's a pesky peckerwood. So.
But no, so like, and you really think about it, you tell me, and this isn't any storytelling, right? Any movie, any genre, the end of something is always not as good as the beginning outside of Infinity War and Endgame. But you see, that's that one off, right? And how has Marvel fared since?
Right.
I think that's so up to interpretation. I think certain people might like the newer things just because it's different like tone and stuff, and other people might be like, "Oh, I don't like this because it's a shift and it's not what I like during the older saga." Like,
well, I'm not talking about that as far as like you come out with something and then you do a prequel and then you do the end like on some more Star Wars. I'm just talking about if you see something in the beginning, and we're talking about the very first movie. That's your very first introduction to it. So like you're all in. The end of that, when that loop or that circle closes, right? that closing of that circle is always not as good as the beginning. And like I said, the only thing I could really think of is fucking Endgame and Infinity War, which I still think Infinity War was a better movie than Endgame in my opinion.
Yes, okay. You're 100% right. Infinity War kick. I hate Endgame.
Yeah, so
I think Endgame's third act trumps all, but I think that the first two acts of Endgame suck.
I still hate the fucking Steve Rogers thing.
So what?
I hate the Steve Rogers thing.
Oh, the way they closed it off.
Like they literally had like a whole TV show how she's like not married to him, and even the writers of that show were like, we had no idea what the fuck they were talking about. So like that was my whole thing. It's like, what, did they just like fucking hide him in a closet for 60 years?
Yeah,
I don't know what. I never watched Agent Carter, so I don't know what.
So they don't really dive into like, so that she has a multiple like love interest during the series, but never once is it. What?
So I said she's a thought. She out here so you saying Agent Carter out here for the streets?
God bless her. She deserves it, but like it just makes zero fucking sense. Like they even dive into like in the Captain America too that like she's married to someone. Who's clearly not Steve fucking Rogers.
Yeah.
No. But wouldn't like the way that they explain time travel, it's not the same timeline though. Like him going back creates a different timeline, doesn't it? I'm the way they do it can be a little confusing, so I'm not stating something.
Ooh.
I'm asking. So like
okay.
The way they described
the way they made it so that that's a different timeline. It doesn't necessarily change what the Peggy Carter series was, right?
Like me and Peter reading the comments.
The way they described it is the timeline only changed with Loki. He was the only one that really changed anything because he veered off his own timeline.
Because his own timeline, yeah. So even when they were going back in time to get these stones, like
oh my god,
my god! All right, to get the stones, it didn't change their past. So.
I hate it.
I don't even think Skechers are gonna let Kanye in right now.
Oh, definitely, that was a good one.
Oh yeah, they threw his ass out.
Wow,
bitch got fucking banned from Wyoming. Like, how you get banned?
Can I just laugh at that? So
that's a thing.
So they threw his. So he showed up out of nowhere, and he's just like, "Yeah, man, why don't I sell my sneakers, man?" And they're just like, I'm sorry, do you know who our CEO is?
They're like, nah.
He's like what a dumb fuck. It's like, I'm a genius. You can't do this to me. And I'm like, guess not, motherfucker.
See, how do you bro? Like 2 weeks ago, you wearing White Lives Matter shirts and driving the whole fucking black community,
and like licking Candace Owens' asshole on live TV,
right?
Like.
So then you got all the white people with you. Then 2 weeks later, you say, fuck them. Listen, I'm going to say this, right? I'm going to say this. Black people, we be getting oppressed. Asians were getting oppressed. Blacks were getting oppressed. Bitch, Jewish, you cannot.
No.
No.
No, you don't do that. Not after the Holocaust, bro. It's like, no. You're like, I don't even care if they're like someone that like slaps a Jewish person's hand. I'm like, no, I'll fuck you up.
No, bitch, no.
So somebody.
They canceled Mel Gibson, bitch. Braveheart, William Wallace.
Well, I mean, to be fair, his Christ movie sucked, and he deserved to be canceled.
But I'm just saying, like
Lethal Weapon 4 was disappointing.
This is lines you don't cross, and that's you don't leave them alone.
So there's this big argument over that, which I find hilarious because at the one point they're like, oh, he's anti-Semitic, and they're like, well, what about when he was anti-black? And I'm like, well, he's that too. He's just a piece of shit all around.
Yeah,
well, why wasn't he canceled then? And I said, because he went to church and then everyone forgave him. That's what happened.
Yeah, he had the Christian album or whatever. But like,
yeah, it's like
weird.
I'm
Like
cool.
ever since
He pulled an R. Kelly where it's just go to church and everyone forgives you.
well, like something happened to him, and this is years ago for people that were paying attention. Ever
bipolar.
since his mom died, he's kind of just.
Oh my
That's
God.
that's what Mary said.
What's nothing to do with that?
He's been
Well,
down.
I'm just.
That's what my mom says that at least once a week. Oh my God! Ever since his mom died, I said
No,
no.
it's the truth.
he's
He's slowly
bipolar.
declined ever since.
He's bipolar as fuck, and there's not a single. If I feel like even if it's not just his mom,
Oh,
like,
he has shit going on. There's no doubt.
there has to there can't be like not at least one person to go to him and be like, dude, you're kind of like fucking off your meds, bro. Maybe
Right.
you should get back on them.
Get medicated.
Well, I think the key thing is his mom was a woman in his life who kept him grounded. He was straight. Then he kind of went off a little ape shit. That's when the Taylor Swift and all that shit happened. Then he got with Kim. Kim grounded him. Now she left him. So now it's back to like.
Why do you think she left him though?
That's what I'm saying. But like, yo, bro, if she can probably get worth $2 billion if she released a memoir about their marriage.
Can we talk
Yeah,
about
shit,
MCU?
fucking like-
Can we talk
like-
about MCU again? Like,
If I were her, I would go
I
for
don't want to talk about Yay. Like, honestly, I just don't.
I mean, I do because it's just so much fun. So what shoe company is he going to try to attach himself?
He can't. He
he's done,
bro. Dude, I seen a dude burn
He should-
40 pairs of his shoes that was probably worth like almost $100,000.
So
And
somebody
burned.
suggested on Twitter that he should hit up Carl Bentley from Jumanji.
Oh my God.
His shoes.
His
His shoes is done. His shoes, his everything. I don't know how you come back from this. He needs to go away for a while.
Yeah.
Or
Go
just-
away for a while.
I honestly want to
away.
see how he like tries to apologize for this. He's like, so this will be my last thing on it. So the Holocaust Museum called him because they do this whenever somebody has an issue like this. They want to educate as opposed to try and shame.
That I know, yeah.
They're like, Mr. West, this happened. We like to educate you. We like to help you understand where you went wrong. And he's like, nah, Planned Parenthood was my Holocaust. You understand how off the rail crazy you have to be to say that? Not even just the fact that you said it out loud, you said it to the fucking Holocaust Museum.
It just shows you, man. He on what he on.
Yeah.
He on what he on. But
So we watched Tales of Jedi last night.
I watched the first 3 episodes today.
Overall, it was good.
Okay.
I was more invested in the Ahsoka stuff.
Okay.
But she had a big ass forehead when she was a baby.
Yeah, I know. The Dooku stuff was good too. I think, again, this is an annoyance that is going to continue. Like Disney and Star Wars right now, they're just hell bent on filling in every single fucking gap.
They're
between
overtelling.
Episode 1
Yeah, I agree.
and episode 7, and it's like,
Stop.
no, we don't need to. Like,
Yeah, right. We don't need
No,
an explanation.
I want my Jedi Apprentice TV shows that's based on the books. I just want that.
Mm-hmm.
So I just like we don't need every single gap. Like
I want Mara Jade. Where's my Mara Jade?
The episode 1, the first episode of that. Yeah, that's cool. That's totally unnecessary.
Right.
Yeah, sure, that was cool. Like,
have you guys watched them yet or no?
No, I haven't watched them yet.
All right, so I won't spoil it.
yeah, well,
I probably won't end up watching that, and I got no fucking desire to watch Andor.
Yeah, and like I'll
Me either,
watch
like-
Andor at some point. Once it's done, I'll binge it. But like I'll watch it because it's Star Wars. I have to watch it.
Right.
Like,
I mean, I love Star Wars, but it's just like I
come
don't
on,
give
like,
a shit about
I
Andor.
want something new. Like,
Yeah.
give me new characters. Like, I loved Rebels so much because it was new characters. Granted, it was like the same timeline. It was within the timeline, but like new characters. Hey, that was great. That was awesome. It gave us freaking what's her name? The hot
Fuck.
God damn it. Sabine.
Sabine,
Like,
yeah.
That was great.
Sabine
It
Wren.
was awesome. Give us more new characters.
Shaq Barrett looks like he has an Achilles.
Yep.
Oh, that sucks. That sucks.
Yeah, like why can't like 703 Ebank says well, don't be so scared just to introduce episode
Something
10
new, yeah.
Just you know what I mean? Do a time jump.
Rebels did great. Look, like just do it. You have a whole galaxy, a whole you have infinite possibilities with Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Infinite possibilities. You can go anywhere. You can go anywhere, anytime, and they're stuck right here. Literally,
the crazy thing is now us as this wouldn't be so cliche 20, 30 years ago to where animation is Chuck's. That's I should just take a screenshot of that. Whereas animation now for us, we're used to it because we grew up on cartoons. You see what I'm saying? So, even if you could, all right, don't give me X-Men in a live action. Give me restart the X-Men cartoon series.
Yep.
Novel idea. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And there's a shitload of X-Men that have not gotten screen time that you could tell stories about. Mm-hmm. It's so many different things, bro, that they could do. It's just like you said, you have MCU overtelling every story, trying to fill in every nook and cranny, and leave no stone unturned. And then you got DC, who is maybe not telling enough or tying it together enough. But I'll honestly say, as far as MCU or DC, the best series, bitch, fucking Peacemaker was great. Was ridiculously good, and no one expected that. And Titans season 3, whatever the last one was, great.
I'm so ready for season 4, bro. Oh my god!
Shit was fucking ready. It was great, and it's not new characters, but it's not characters that you know what I mean. You got this Cookie Cutter Teen Titan shit and all that other shit.
I got Mari Grayson in live action. I'm Gucci, bro.
You feel what I'm saying? So give me all that instead of this. I don't know. Yeah, Wakanda forever better live up to it, bitch. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
supposedly it sounds like it is.
Yeah, I saw the clip. Yeah. I'm just wondering how they're gonna do it.
Yeah,
like how they're gonna do the whole funeral. And
I probably won't be able to watch it for a while. I mean, I'm gonna be when it comes out. I'll be in Florida, so I'm obviously not gonna see the movie while we're on vacation.
Man, just give my nephew some Robitussin and go to the movie bit.
We could go to the theater, and they have a theater in Disney Springs.
They do. I saw Shrek 4 there.
Yeah.
So, I didn't even know they made 4 Shreks.
They're on the fifth right now.
That's the most Pete thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Well, it was raining, and I didn't want to stay in the hotel room, so I'm like, "What can we do for a few hours?" And we're just like, "Oh, we'll see a movie."
Or the bowling alley too. Bowling alley would be another thing. Martian Lynch says thoughts on Wolverine Deadpool 3.
Yeah,
I think it's great. I love it.
I don't know if we touched on it before.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun and stupid. I love it.
Yeah, I'm not expecting.
I need to see Antimadium. I need to see Claws. Just don't have him fucking in there just to have him in there. He has to be doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah, him and Deadpool can have sex or something. I don't know.
Well, you know they're gonna reference the shitty Deadpool from Wolverine Origins.
Nah, they already did that.
Yeah. That's true.
They might throw a line in or two, a joke.
I'm mad because they were literally supposed to get the Fantastic Four from Fan Four Stick in Deadpool 2. They were literally going to do that.
And they didn't.
I'm so mad.
And then he who should not be named in Loki, but in Creed 3, if that bitch come in built like that,
yeah,
that's what you need.
Oh, he's gonna fuck Ant-Man up. He's gonna fuck Ant-Man up.
That's what you need.
So Young, you are well versed in the Marvel comics.
Yes.
Enlighten us because I don't know who. So I obviously the character that Loki saw at the end of the Loki series. Obviously, it's the same guy. It's Kang. What is his spiel? What is
So if you're comparing Kang to Thanos is the small dick in the locker room.
That I know.
Kang is a destroyer of worlds. He's spread out through all the different timelines and everything, and in certain versions he's actually related to Tony Stark. Yes, ancestor and whatnot, depending on what timelines. That's just how powerful he is. He can just oh, you beat me here. That's okay. You didn't beat me in this universe. I'm back.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, so that's what makes Kang such a difficult enemy is that. So when he's talking about that and Loki, it's like, oh, I did this, I did that. You were worried about me here. You need to be worried about me here. That's what he's talking about. Where he's talking about all these different lives he's had.
Okay.
It's literally like different versions of himself to where there's a version of him that could be a good guy, but there's also 55 versions of him that could be like Hitler, essentially. Like,
Gotcha.
Devlin England says Kang is that dude with the squidbilly in his stomach.
yes, you basically, yes, he is that guy.
So he so the Kang we see in the trailer for Ant-Man
Is not the Loki.
that's one of his versions that he was
Yes,
talking.
it's one of his versions.
Okay. And so he's gonna be the big bad dude.
Yes, he
That's
is.
going to be his introduction.
Big bad booty daddy.
So I'll ask you guys this question before we sign off. The fact that now we know that like obviously Kang is the next big baddie, this era now of the MCU, and knowing that he is astronomically bigger of a villain than Thanos was,
Mm-hmm.
do you think it feels a little bit of injustice or doesn't feel right not to have your big hitters like Iron Man and Captain America in these movies? Because I've always wondered that, like, okay, you're gonna expand, right?
Mhm.
You're gonna you've got to go bigger than Infinity Wars. You got to go bigger than that, and it looks like they are. This villain is going to be much bigger. All right, now we're talking about timelines and alternate universes.
Well,
Your two biggest characters aren't in it.
No, because you're gonna have your own versions of them. Like they're not gonna be as like here's the thing that people don't realize. Like 15 years ago, nobody knew who the fuck Iron Man was.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand that. Like
Absolutely.
So Riri will like I can go with or without Riri. But I understand her popularity. Riri Williams now is more popular than Tony Stark was at the beginning of the Iron Man movie franchise. So, that's how big she is. It's the same thing with Miles Morales. It's the same Kamala is another one who's one of the hottest young characters in Marvel right now. Not to mention, fucking Sam is another insanely popular character.
Well, I get that, and for if you're using the parallel for the comics, you're absolutely right. But I'm talking about like the MCU started off, and the two big names were Iron Man and Cap. And you can also, if you want to throw in Black Widow, like she was a key piece in the origins.
You're gonna have a new Black Widow
universe. Hold on. But they were key pieces, right? They helped bring the popularity. If you're just looking from a pop culture sense, are they missing out by not having these headliners part of this bigger universe? I think, in a sense, I think. It's tough for this is just my perspective. I liked the finality that both characters got. The Iron Man had a great ending to his arc. Captain America had a great ending to his arc. I'm happy with it. But the further we move along with this phase of MCU, it's kind of like, man, these guys were the centerpiece. They're not in this now. That feels like something is always missing, at least from an outsider looking in who's just watching the movies and never followed the comics. But do you guys feel similarly, or?
I think you can come out and say it. The fucking American people are stupid and they don't want to change. It's hard for them once they get attached to something to let it go and transition into something else. So I think fans like Pete, I don't check it with the comic books myself like that anymore, but I will. But I like Miles Morales to introduce these new characters and get them off of what they already know.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be the hurdle. I think that may be the reason why they're kind of filling in all these gaps to try to tell these stories, to introduce these new characters. but at the same time, you can do the move. So like you didn't build this universe by doing series. You built this universe by doing origin stories and movies, and gave you the blanks everywhere else. So they're, I don't know why they tried to change the model. What was working? You know what I mean? You wanna introduce a new superhero? Throw him in there in No Way Home. Yep. Spider-Man's the biggest fucking story you got. You know what I mean? Throw him in there, then let that, then get that. You know what I mean? So it's just, it's just there. But there's some validity to what you're saying, and it's scary. And I mean, for Kevin Feige, it has to be worrisome that if people don't latch onto it.
And that's the part, because like we were talking about, like I think that them not having X-Men also handicaps them, because before the MCU started, what were you talking about, Pete? We were talking about the biggest things in pop culture when it came to Marvel were the animated shows, right? So like you had Spider-Man, you had X-Men. Those are the biggest ones. Like us four, I'm sure we all watched it when we were young. So they are those characters, as you saw, like when Spider-Man got introduced, the hype around that was like insane. So them not being able to have X-Men does kind of handicap them in terms of them being able to offset and make up for them not having Cap and Iron Man anymore. Because as a fan that doesn't follow the comics, you're
It shocks me that you don't, by the way.
Huh?
It shocks me that you don't, because when you get into something, you get into it. So I don't know.
But I only read Batman, so that's why. I never. It's funny. People think I'm DC. No, I'm literally just Batman. Like I never really read anything outside something that Batman has been in. Like that's literally all the comics I've ever read is Batman. So like for me looking in, like I like to latch onto certain characters that draw me in. Well, for some people, that might, and even like some kids, that might have been Iron Man, that might have been Black Widow, that might have been Cap. So who's gonna fill that void? You know what I mean? And that's just something that's always been back in my mind. I'm not saying Marvel was wrong, because again, I liked the finality of their arcs. I liked the endings they gave to both. I'm just thinking about it from it does feel like something's kind of missing. You know what I mean?
I think the issue would be is that if they were going away from those characters and you didn't have any characters that were really popular to dive into, you have Kate who's extremely popular with fans. You have Kamala, who's extremely popular. You have the possibility of Miles, who's really popular. Riri Williams, there's like a whole set of them that are probably some of the most popular characters in Marvel right now that you can dive into and get people excited about. If there were just if you were introducing just a bunch of side characters that like Guardians of the Galaxy is popular now, right?
Yeah.
When they introduced them, nobody knew who the fuck.
No one knew who they were. Yeah.
No.
If there's no Iron Man or Black Panther or Captain America or Thor or any of those other characters, and your whole concept is, we're just going to introduce a whole run of Guardians of the Galaxy-esque characters, they would be fucked. But like I said, they have this huge. Right now, the most popular characters in Marvel are all these young characters I just listed. They're selling like hotcakes right now, and they're selling more than your Iron Mans and your Thors and your Black Widows and stuff like that. The only one that's probably not being beaten is Peter Parker Spider-Man. It's probably the only one that's not. Granted, that book sucks ass right now, but in terms of popularity, he's like one of your top 5 most popular heroes, along with all the other young heroes, which now you have the chance to push them to the forefront, that benefits you because you have this streaming service. You don't have to force a movie just to make a movie. You can put a TV show where they get a little bit exposure, and then you can put them in the movies where they have a defined role instead of, oh my God, look, here's Hawkeye for 30 seconds in Thor.
Yeah. And then, I mean, honestly, it
was a shit introduction for him.
It was surprising it took so long for him to introduce Spider-Man, because when you think of
Just couldn't get the
Think
right.
of DC, you think of Batman.
Yeah.
When you think of Marvel, it's who's the Marvel version of Batman? It's Spider-Man.
They couldn't use him. Like it's just Sony and Marvel they couldn't agree to play ball for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Like Avengers Tower was actually supposed to be seen in Spider-Man Avengers Tower was supposed to be seen in Amazing Spider-Man 2, and they couldn't come to an agreement.
Okay.
Everybody's they want to fuck it up for the fans, man.
Yeah.
That's Sony. Well, Sony has whenever somebody complains about something Spider-Man related in terms of Marvel, it's not Marvel's fault. It's all Sony's fault.
Sony. Oh, yeah.
So they have these weird rules where it's like, well,
just stick to making PlayStations, bitch. Don't.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Exactly it.
Worry about anything else.
Electronics. So just stick to that.
They'll complain. So Spider-Man fans will complain about like all the extra heroes in Spider-Man movies, but I'm like, oh, see what fucking Marvel's doing. I said, what are you talking about, Marvel? That's Sony's rule. They have the rule where two Marvel heroes or Marvel characters have to appear in a Spider-Man movie in order for Marvel to use the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah. And it sucks because none of the Spider-Man films are available on any streaming service.
That's not true.
Wait, which ones?
Legal streaming service.
The MCU ones, no, but all the other ones are available on Netflix.
That is true.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That is true. I just need somebody to buy the rights to Thundercats. That's
Oh my God.
Thundercats or go.
That's it. Yeah, man.
The important thing is that the Leonardo DiCaprio led Captain Planet movie is moving forward. That's all that fucking matters.
God.
What?
So he's going to be Captain Planet?
No. He's producing it.
Oh, damn it. I thought you were going to say Leo's Captain Planet. That actually would have been funny, just because of like his.
You know who needs to be Captain Planet?
Oh no.
War Machine.
Don Cheadle.
Tree.
Yes,
power is mine, bitches.
Yeah, I remember that. You guys never seen that?
This has the catchiest intro cartoon song ever.
By your powers combined, I am Captain Planet. Also, here, watch me fight AIDS and Hitler.
He's a power magnified.
Shit, boys, it's midnight, man.
It is midnight.
Yeah,
we turned the clock.
Good.
Oh no, I'm gonna turn into a pumpkin.
Okay. All right, gentlemen, that was fun. We made up for having a week off, so we got good conversations.
We're probably talking another 3 hours. That's the problem.
We could have gone. Enjoy the game. Everyone listening, thank you for
game one tomorrow.
Tuning in.
Go Phils!
Oh yeah, enjoy. Of course, fighting Phils. Let's go. Thank you to everyone listening in. Still, if you're listening to us ramble about nerd stuff, we appreciate your support. As always, make sure you check out all the other shows going on at A2D. There's a show every single day. And make sure if you want to get live reactions or if you want to get post-game reactions to the Phillies games that are coming up, tune into our shows as well. We've got something for you every single night. For myself, for Pete, and for Jake, and for Nate, who's signing off, we love you. We thank you. Godspeed. Take care. Stay safe. And go Birds. Peace out.
Later.